say hello to everybody, and then
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh, are we on? We're live.
We are on.
Here we go. Steve is going to go drop the link into the Facebook group. But hi, everybody.
Hey,
Happy
everybody.
500th episode. We're doing it. Congratulations to us.
Yes.
We did this a long time, and here we are. I don't know about Steve's bottle count, but I've got 4 bottles here for this episode. First of all, Jason Welch sent 2 bottles. The first one is Malort. Now I haven't consumed any of this yet. We sent some home with Steve in that little mason jar that it definitely doesn't look like a piss sample at all. And then Jason Welch also sent this monkey shoulder whiskey. Steve will have to try this another time, but I'll try it today. I'm going to be like sampling all this booze. And then Robert McDowell decided to be, a party funder for this episode. And he gave Steve and I some cash. And I used that cash to go buy 2 bottles.
All right.
I got this tequila that I've never tried before.
Oh.
I read up on it a little bit, and it sounds like it's going to be a nice treat. And then I splurged, and I got some nice rum. I've never gotten nice rum before. But this is like a $60 bottle of rum. It comes in a box.
Interesting.
I'm going to unbox it here. I've never seen the bottle before. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, it's got like natural fibers down here. But the label on this said that it was special because it's made with hand-picked sugar cane instead of molasses. So
interesting.
It'll probably be so good. All right, are we ready to get started, Steve?
Well, I think I gotta do my talk. I picked up a bottle of Storyhouse Spirits California Coastal Gin.
Ooh, I thought about getting some gin.
Which I turned into this G&T that's hiding behind. Sorry, I put my camera in a different spot than usual to get a little different angle on the room. So this is actually in downtown San Diego, which I learned.
Yeah.
Their spot. And then I've got a bunch of beer, which includes one guitar strap locking mechanism on that.
You're gonna need to drink 2 of those if you want to strap.
I have another one in the fridge. And then I figured I'd try this out. It's a bottle of Lafroy Gaten.
Ah, nice.
So we'll see how that goes. But this is a lot of things.
Yeah.
Which is why people are saying, why aren't you in the garage together? It's because one, because I want to sleep in my own bed tonight. And 2, because I do have to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
At some point. So
yeah, I don't know what my post podcast plan is, but if my family is not here, they might go out and go to like an aunt and uncle's house or something tonight. If they're not here when we're done with this, I might be door dashing a burrito or something.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Yeah. Because I won't be going anywhere.
Probably while the live stream is going, I'm guessing my wife will DoorDash. You might, if we get the wider angle, you might see the DoorDash guy through the window over here.
All right, so should we get started?
Yeah, let's do this thing. Okay, we're gonna end the stream, and no, I'm just kidding.
Oh man, starting off wrong. Mark, for instance, I hope you won't use this stream as an excuse to not have a regular podcast tomorrow. No, this is it. I ain't doing anything tomorrow.
So I am planning whether maybe I'll have to do it tomorrow. We'll see how we all feel after this, or how I feel after this. But I'm planning on downloading this live stream and stripping the audio, so there will be audio eventually.
I'm glad you're planning on doing that so that I don't have to do it.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's just like a 15-minute download and then a 38-minute audio render, and then we're done.
I can
And then
do
a
it.
re-upload?
I should do it. All right.
No, I'll do
So-
it. It's fine.
So,
You
okay,
you
Steve
go
wants
enjoy
to do it.
yourself.
I'll let you do it. I'll enjoy myself. So we're going to do a regular podcast here over the live stream. And then when we're done, we're just going to do a hangout and put the link in the comments and stuff like that. But there's a little twist on this one. Yes, we're doing it live. We're doing it COVID style. The twist is that every single ad this episode is going to be in the Adventurers Club. Third place is going to get a $25 digital gift card to the retailer or fast food establishment of your choice. Second place, $50. Third place, you get the G&L, baby, as promised. The first place person, the first place Adventurers Club ad this episode is getting a whole ass guitar. Thanks, Sweetwater.
Did you just call GNL ass guitars? Hold on, did we introduce ourselves?
In a good way.
I feel like
hi.
we didn't.
Hi, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Steven. This is 60 Cycle Hum, the guitar buying, selling, trading, modding, fixing, breaking, reviewing, playing, but not on a live stream because the audio just gets chopped up by the YouTube compression podcast.
So if your ad gets featured in this episode, you're going to win something. Everyone's a winner this time. Should we try the malort before we get started, or should we use that to cleanse our palate after the first ad?
It's up to you.
I don't think this thing that I have queued up I want to be the first ad. Let me find the one I want to be first. All right, let's do an ad and then we'll palate cleanse. So there's something to look forward to. We'll get into the malort after this guy here. Here we go. This was sent to us by Nick Knight.
Thanks, Nick. This is a 1964 vintage Fender Mustang Husk. Oh, it's got clay dots. Well, that's
that's the selling point,
isn't it? Thanks for the clay dots. About this listing for sale is what started life as an original 1964 Fender Mustang, but along the way has been, quote, bastardized into what you see here today. The good, clay dots, Brazilian rosewood fingerboard. The bad, pretty much everything else. This body has been stripped and refinished, chopped body and headstock with a modified yet original pickguard. This could make a really cool and unique guitar for someone with just a few parts. It's very lightweight. It would make a great travel guitar. Okay.
I think that was the intent. Like I picked this one because it's like a mangled Mustang, a mangled vintage Mustang is just like pure 60 cycle hum. Like that's just classic. It might as well be like our podcast crest or whatever. If anyone wants to get a podcast tattoo, then it's got to be a mangled Mustang.
Please see
so many of them.
Please see pics, as this is sold as is and is for parts or repair only, although it did play pretty well when all put together. Not sure what happened to the original neck plate, but a neck plate and screws are included. Will be shipped with neck off the body to save on shipping costs. That's a trick. It's a little business trick that I don't really like, but lots of people use it. Please message me with any questions. Thanks. I have not found the picture. $599 plus $50 shipping. That was what I was wondering, was what the price is. I like this.
There's nothing left here to salvage as a Mustang. Like that's clear. Like the headstock is even gone. Like someone decided that they wanted this to be a travel guitar, and so they cut off everything that I guess technically didn't need to be there. Just trim it down until there's nothing left.
In the most technical of sense, I suppose you could argue that. I'm gonna do a quick search because here's the thing. This is $600. You can buy aged clay dots for $25. I suppose those are brand new. How about for some vintage clay dots? I cannot find any vintage clay dots. Only new clay dots.
Well, if
$25.
Clay is just something you pull out of the ground. I think all clay is probably similar age, so let's not get too worked up about that.
I'm just saying, like, there's nothing. Like, even $600 sounds way too much.
It does, because there's no essence of Mustang left here. Like there's nothing recognized. It's not salvageable. Yeah, actually, you know what? You put in the pickups, you put on the bridge, you wire it up. It's actually gonna sound like a Mustang. Like we can say that, right? Like
I'm sure
it's gonna sound like a Mustang.
whatever that means. Like,
If that's all
yeah,
you're looking for.
I
Here you
have
go.
a,
You're gonna have the sound of a vintage Mustang.
I have a 2x4, and I dropped 3 pickets and a DOS wiggle sticking on it. Congratulations! It's a Stratocaster.
Right.
Like, I've got a piece of plywood and I slapped 2 PAFs on it. So I've got a Les Paul. Like, is that the angle here? The problem is the only thing that justifies $600 is that this is whatever it said, 1964 or whatever. But even that, like, what's a 1960s Mustang go for? I feel like it's not that, like,
Not
I want to say like
$600, but
$2,000.
probably somewhere in that neighborhood. I'm sure it depends on specifics and specific little details and stuff like that. But yeah, they're still accessibly priced vintage instruments. It's not like it's a 58 Telecaster or something like that, or like, like a, whatever Stratocaster is the one that everyone wants to have. I never price out vintage Strats and Tellies, but I know they go for a lot.
There is a
popular.
white Mustang on Reverb right now. It looks like that says free shipping for $19.50. It's a refin.
Not even $2,000.
So it's a refin. That's why I suppose it's and that's a 65. It doesn't look like there's maybe any 64s. There's some like what look like maybe original reds, 1968 original red nitro for 2,400, 24. So pretty much everything stays at least under $3,000. Given what's missing here, I feel like this is not. I mean, I'm sure somebody will pay $600 for this.
I hope not.
I don't know
what to price it at, but there's nothing here that's salvageable. Like you're not buying this for parts to save another Mustang that has a broken neck or something like that, because the headstock is gone.
Mm-hmm.
You're not buying it for, I guess technically you could buy it for the frets and the fretboard. Like someone could do a fretboard swap.
Yeah,
but that's major surgery, and I don't think someone should pay $600 for that. Like,
well, once you pull the fretboard off and slap it onto like a modern, you gonna slap it onto a modern neck? You're gonna buy 2 1964 Mustangs and use this thing as your parts farm for the one salvageable part?
Yeah, there's not enough parts for this to be worth $600.
I'm sorry. There's there's 4 salvageable parts. The fretboard, presumably the nut, and the 2 shafts for the bridge.
yeah, everyone cares about getting vintage correct. Bridge shafts for their vintage Mustangs. Yeah, Fender hasn't made that part quite as well, quite as good as they used to back in the old days. We have to get the vintage, and it's worth paying $600 for that. I'm sure there's not anyone on eBay selling just those parts for even $150.
Yeah. There's a lot of people in the chat who think this looks like the Wancaster. I mean, I can see it.
Anyone who can see a Wancaster in this should go talk to their physician, because I am not seeing that at all. Maybe I'm just built different.
I'm saying it's like
I'm not seeing that.
It's in the same Inspiry window of the one version, the cleaner version.
Maybe when it's cold outside.
All right.
I don't know.
What? We're looking at different parts here.
Hey, if Kyle B is out there watching right now, someone just let him know that he is muted and no one can see his comments.
All right.
I have a really tough time figuring out a value for this, because there is nothing to salvage.
Yeah.
And like technically the bridge posts are the only thing that you could salvage and say, here is something that is sellable that you could remove from here and sell it. And they should maybe be worth $150, maybe 100, somewhere in that. This is not $600 worth of vintage guitar. It's a little bit of wood. It's a neck with a mangled headstock. No one's going to want that neck. It maybe just because it is vintage wood in that neck, you might be able to get $50, $75 for the neck alone. You know, like that's my instinct anyways. Maybe someone out there wants to disagree with us. I just look at this and it's just worthless to me. I don't see any value in it whatsoever.
No, this is how to absolutely mangle. Like this is a school. Should be a lesson. This should be in textbooks. This should, Reverb does that price guide thing. This should be in the Reverb price guide as things that you should not put on Reverb.
Does your Mustang look like this? Give up. Just give up. Keep it, or like give it away to someone who will treat it better than you've treated it. I had a point in it just to, okay. So the travel guitar thing, I think clearly the person who did this wanted it to be a travel guitar.
Right.
A Mustang's already a small guitar. If the bits of the Mustang that he cut off, I don't want to be sexist. Maybe a woman did this. That if they cut off, was impeding their travel.
Sure.
Like, just don't play guitar when you travel. Like this, you didn't save enough space for it to really qualify as a convenient travel thing. You know.
Speaking of travel guitars, those CRE guitars are real hot right now, and I'm kind of sad that we never demoed one back in the day. I feel like
I did a video now. I did a video at Summer NAMM.
Oh, that's right. You did do the Summer NAMM one. But I'm seeing those everywhere, and they have a model now that I think is like 1,300. So it's actually like,
yeah.
I think that's the one normal people's price.
I think that's the one that I demoed at Summer NAMM, but it was like still in like pre-production. It was like prototyping. They're like, no, this one's going to be, it's not going to be $3,000.
I still haven't seen anyone actually do a full demo. I've just seen a lot of like YouTube shorts of people going like,
folded in half. Yeah.
Oh, cool. It's in tune. Well, but anyway, that's cool. So you're saying this is not a buy is what
No, not at all. Well, if you were gonna, just for the sake of a travel guitar, just for travel guitar purposes, I think that a Mustang is a bad place to start. Even though it's short scale, I think it's a bad place to start just because of the space that is required by the trim. Like, it's giving you too much space on the end there. I think if you're going to chop up a vintage guitar, I think it should be a Telecaster. It should have a hard tail on it. Even a Stratocaster makes more sense because the springs aren't behind the bridge. They're in front of the bridge. You could definitely cut a Strat up to be smaller than this in length. That's my final hot take on this.
Your final, such a hot take. All right.
I know, so hot.
Well, I suppose now is the time then, if we're following our normal format. Who are you waving to?
Me?
Waving to it looked like,
oh no, I clicked the mouse and was like,
hi everybody.
I did a dramatic mouse click is what I did.
We got a lot of people in the chat tonight. We got Amanda's here, of course, snarky, sassy, kind of the classics. Jason Welch. It's the time to malort.
It's time to malort.
Wait, Longs is here.
Yeah.
Is that Darren, I assume? You drink this stuff straight? Is that how this works?
I'm assuming. I don't have any mixers for it. I feel like I might have poured too much.
I'm just going to drink it straight from the jar.
It smells like paint thinner.
Tiki Flamingo is not here.
Oh, good.
Gronk Jappelson. All right, let's see how this prank is sponsored by Jason Welch goes.
I hear that this stuff is wild.
Oh, that's weird.
it is not anywhere near as bad as I was led to believe. Like,
It's got a lingering though.
Like, I get why people wouldn't like it. It does have this like paint thinner quality to it.
I don't know if I can wash that out. That's just going to sit there.
I
That's
don't feel
weird.
compelled to drink more.
It does have a very particular taste that I can't describe.
It's herbal. It's of the
Yeah,
earth,
it
you know.
feels like it, okay, here's what it tastes like to me. And this is gonna maybe sound bad, but this is the only way I can think about it because I have it in front of me. Is um, is it's like if you took gin and then you cooked out all of the water and then just drank it. So like it's too herbal. It's like a cough drop on if you got rid of all of
It
the
is
sugar in the
it
cough
is
drop.
cough droppy. Like it's in the like a Ricola direction.
Oh, this is a good description. Mr. Nobody says it's like when you throw up, but you can't get the bile taste out of your mouth or out of the back of your throat. Yeah, I can.
It tastes more industrial than that to me.
All right. All right.
It does taste like it's got like a industrial paint thinner, chemical solvent sort of quality to it. I will say though that like, I mean, I went a bit extreme. I swished it around in my mouth. I got it up in my gums and stuff like that. So like, if I did it just as a shot, like that initial first taste, I feel like the first 2 beats of the taste were fine.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then the aftertaste, it tastes like burnt hair and rubber, you know.
Burnt hair and rubber.
And weirdly, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean it in like, let's have an experience sort of way. Like I could see like this is like the a drink in Chicago, right? Like I could see this being a
Yeah.
local tradition sort of thing. Like,
Oh,
let's celebrate. What are you doing, dude?
I was trying. Oh, I know what I'm doing. I clicked the wrong thing.
Yeah, I can tell.
No, I mean I didn't do it all wrong.
I could see like, hey, you got that promotion. You're having a baby. Oh, like major life thing. You're retiring. We're all going to experience something together. Let's celebrate the Chicago way with a shot of malort. You know, you're never going to forget it. It's memory making booze. I get it.
Mm-hmm. No,
but I don't think I'm going to finish the glass.
yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of this jar.
You know, clean some windows, you know, start
Yeah.
the grill with it, lighter fluid, you know.
What I was trying to do is transition us into the next thing. I'm going to go a little bit out of order.
Okay.
Because our next thing is our sponsor, Stringjoy.
Oh, look at you bringing up the
Look at that
website.
very official looking website. I can scroll to the top, but I don't know if that's helpful. But
This is
they've
probably
got
the best
these are
sponsorship you've ever
bundles.
done.
This is like if you
What?
want a variety of things, the electric bundle, the electric and acoustic bundle, or just the acoustic bundle. You head on over to stringjoy.com or use the link in the I don't know if it's in the description of this one at the moment, but it eventually will be.
Yeah, Steve will retcon that in there. It's in there.
And
Go look tomorrow.
and when you check out, use code HUM to get 10. I almost said 50. Good God.
To get 500% off,
yeah,
they will pay you.
They will pay you to get 10% off of your purchase, which in most places means you're at least not paying taxes. So that's always a bonus. So yeah, head on over to there, and now I will stop that
Those
screen.
bundles look like the way to go for like a holiday gift. Like you want to give someone a sample pack, like a little taste of everything. It's like a Whitman sampler, but with strings.
So this is I got that. I can't shake that aftertaste.
It's rubbery. Burnt hair and rubber is where I think I'm lying.
Oh,
on that.
yeah, you know that now that you say burnt rubber, and I saw a few that in the chat, and now I'm placing it. This tastes like back the last time I have this memory of blowing out a clutch in a car.
Oh yeah, yeah.
From like 20 years ago.
Right.
And that is what I am
It's
kind of tasting.
and I'm still not saying like it's the worst thing ever. Like I would rather drink that than like remember that big plastic bottle of Walmart vodka that Adam bought? I would rather
Vaguely, yeah.
I would rather drink Malort than that.
All right.
Because at least it
All right.
tastes like something. It's not just like the booze portion of the Malort was actually kind of smooth. It didn't taste like cheap booze. It's like just the flavor profile of whatever it's made with is really intense and really unique. Like I'd rather drink that than like some sort of like rot in your gut plastic bottle Walmart vodka. At least it's something.
Yeah. So I'm really struggling with transitions. I felt like I did a good transition into Stringjoy.
That was a good transition, Steve. Should we go to
But,
another ad?
No, we should do some housekeeping.
Ah,
This is a part of the show where we thank everyone who has sponsored the show. And
are you going to list new names? Because the next week's episode won't have them.
I'm going to do the new names between next week's episode and now. So it is going to be out of order.
Okay.
Oh, did you already edit next week's episode?
No, but we didn't announce the new names, so they won't be in next week's episode.
That's fine.
This is behind the scenes riveting stuff for everyone at home.
But I want to thank at the $1 level, Matt Lewis. Oh, next week doesn't have any because it's the second episode, and the second episode never.
All right.
Matt Lewis and Alex T at the $1 level. At the $5 level, we have Familiar Person. I believe this is a cat because it's spelled Purrson.
Always love our cats in the audience.
And at $10 in the stream right now in the chat is Michael Kraus. So thank you, Michael.
Nice. Thank you, Michael. I am gonna cleanse my palate.
Of course, the Patreon funds go to help pay for things for this show that we do, like things that we do. You know the things that we do.
Things that we do. We're losing audience members here, Steve. We were at 140, now we're at 133. I'm going to pour some of this monkey shoulder that Jason Welch sent as well, just to get a different taste in my mouth, and then we will continue as you see fit. Monkey shoulder. This stuff looks good.
I'm waiting on you. I'm just waiting on you now, man.
Okay, you want to get into the next thing?
Well, take your drink, I guess.
Darren, the next thing is going to be.
Wong's amps in the chat is Darren/Jeff/Bendy/Fenshaw Mesicano.
These many people.
We doing this? Is this the next one? Is that the next one?
Yeah, let's do this one. Here we go. This was sent by I spelled his name wrong. I wrote Relap Pacheco. It's supposed to be Ralph.
Good old Relap.
Good old Relap. Sorry, Ralph. So just as a reminder, every ad featured in this episode is going to result in a gift card or a guitar. 2 people will get digital gift cards and 1 person will win a guitar. So last one could have been a winner of the guitar. This one could have been a winner of the guitar. Either way, both of them will definitely get a gift card.
The next one could be a winner of a guitar. This is CD Initials shaped electric guitar. Very unique. Surely one of a kind, a beautiful guitar. This would make a great gift for any guitar player with the initials CD. I had this custom made a few years ago, but I need the money, so I'm selling it. So presumably the person who had this made is also named CD, I hope. So I'm selling it. I've never played it much. It's very nice. Plays and sounds great. Made of alderwood. Has Telly style neck and hardware. Has Mexico Telly pickups. Will ship in an old Fender case. I believe. Did you have the price up there? $2,500.
$2,500, guys, and this could be yours. Do you have the initials CD, or maybe you run a business with the initial CD? Like maybe you just even like those letters. Like that's your favorite part of the alphabet. Like maybe you have 2 other people in your band and the bassist has an A-B bass. So you're A, B, C, D, and then you've got an EF drum kit or an EF keyboard or EF rhythm guitar or something like that. Like you can complete the alphabet here. I don't know, $2,500. I think it's a good buy.
Yeah, there's some other ways to read this. Amanda is calling, and Sassy are saying this works if your name is Ed. This could also kind of be an Ernie Ball guitar, as somebody points out that this could be an EB.
Yeah.
And of course, what I added to the video, Mike Stone says, "How about you CDs nuts?" Which I think is hilarious because I'm 12.
Well, when I grabbed this ad, I sent a screen grab to Cole Duke from the Gear Slum. I was like, "Here you go. Here's your guitar." I don't think he's replied yet, but
R.I.P. in peace. But this could have been perfect for the Charlie Daniels band.
Ah, yeah. There you go. I'm a little bit bugged that the D is so much narrower than the C.
Yeah.
Like that's a big C and a little D. I'm sorry. I just want to see a big D.
Oh my gosh.
When it comes to CDs, I want the big D is all I'm saying. We got a super chat saying happy birthday. It's not really our birthday. It's because there's 52 episodes in a year. This just happens to be the 500th. So it is a milestone, but it's not technically like the 10-year anniversary yet. That's still 4 months away, I think.
I think it's in January.
It might be early February.
Something like that.
Well, if we're going by years. Yeah, if we're going by years, I think it's in January. You're right. But thank you for the super chat. $3.75. I'll have a little sip of my scotch here. Is it scotch or is it whiskey? Blended malt scotch whiskey. I was right.
You're right and wrong.
You know what?
According to, is it good?
I know what the malort is for now.
It
makes everything else in your life better.
Like better.
Yeah, it tastes like. Here, let's isolate this for a moment. It tastes like a caramel candy compared to that malort aftertaste that was in my mouth. Like this is heaven. Like you want to enjoy the rest of the drinks you're going to have all night. You got to start with malort.
Ryan, according to IMDb, the first episode of 60 Cycle Hum aired on January 13th, 2014.
On IMDb?
According to IMDb.
Why is that on IMDb?
We are on IMDb. Our show is on IMDb.
We're on IMDb? What the hell?
We've been running since 2014. We have no reviews, no photos, no storyline. But it is pointed out that we are in color. So
when did we get on air on IMDb? That makes no sense.
I think at some point IMDb just started like putting podcasts and YouTube series on their thing. So technically, like I think at least a YouTube series of some sort. There's like all kinds of podcasts on there. It's strange. Yeah, I've been trying to think about like who is this for. One of the places
it's for Cole Duke. He should buy it.
Yeah, well, one of the places we posted this, it was pointed out that this would, like, if you ever wanted to change the pickups, this would be a freaking nightmare.
Yeah, rewire it. Like they didn't post a picture of the back of it. This is all we have. These two pictures. I imagine there's just a route going through the back all the way around that C.
Yeah. I mean, it might not be that bad if you're using like stiff enough wire. And if your wire is stiff enough, then it's not an ED. It's definitely a CD.
Oh my gosh, come on.
But
definitely the worst part of this is the gold hardware. It just tarnishes so fast.
That's what I was about to say is I don't like the gold hardware.
Yeah, I mean, swap it out for chrome and then I'm in.
So exactly. So much of this guitar is redeemable.
You know what?
T777 says it's a boat anchor guitar, and I can definitely see that. in
It
the
just
right
needs a
angle.
little bit of a trim on the D, and it totally is.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you trim up the sides of the D to give it like that crossbar thing going on, and it's totally a boat anchor. This could be, instead of a CD guitar, it could be just a regular C guitar, SEA.
Right, yeah. How many yeah, Mark says IMDb says 466 episodes. Uh, IMDb's wrong.
They're wrong. Don't get your podcast information from IMDb. They're not up to date on what we've got going
Get
on
it
here.
from our fandom.60cyclehum.com.
I'm actually a little surprised that no one's ever made a Wikipedia for us that's got like notes on every episode. Like, it would be way too much work, and I don't want anyone to do it, but I'm surprised no one's tried to do it,
Yeah. This is what are they just basing this price off of, like, what they paid to have this made?
I think they're just being hopeful.
Like
They're like,
$2,500?
here's the thing. It's priceless. It's one of a kind.
It's worthless, you mean?
It's priceless, Steve.
Yeah. You can't put
It's
a price
not worthless. Steve, it is a Telecaster. Everyone loves Telecasters, and this is a Telecaster as Leo Fender first envisioned it. Like, this is it. This is the prototype,
Yeah, it actually I don't know. I was gonna try to throw these initials at, like, this was supposed to be CP originally, the Carl Perkins guitar, but there was an error in the manufacturing.
You could trim it up to be a CP or a lowercase b, a C flat, a
Yeah.
CD.
A C flat.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting. Wayne says it would look better if the body that's behind the letters was painted
Yes.
black.
That's
So you've
totally
got
true.
red in front and black in the background.
This would be better if the guy who had this made was like a local hero. Like, everyone knew who CD was.
Right.
Oh, there's CD. Did you see him play last week?
I mean,
like
the fact that this is in Alabama, it's selling in Alabama, kind of lends to that sort of lore. Because that is kind of, potentially an area where they have kind of that blues tradition of a lot of, like, homemade, wacky, what we would consider wacky, but they become the signature instruments.
Yeah.
For
it's got that outsider art vibe to it.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, like, it's well executed.
Yeah.
This like, it ain't no slouch. Like, this is a guitar. It looks completely competent. It looks like you could absolutely definitely play it. It's probably ergonomically mostly fine because it's a big oval for the most part. Like, it's fine. Like, you could totally play this. It's a playable guitar as far as I can tell. I don't see anything about this that would say don't even bother trying to play it. This is junk. It's not junk. It's a functional guitar as far as we can tell. But why? Why is the question? Oh my gosh. Gronk Joppelson says it's a clit destroyer custom. Holy hell. Yikes.
I wasn't gonna read that one, but I suppose
it's a live stream. We're gonna stuff is just gonna happen.
Things are just gonna hopefully too many randoms don't join later.
I know, right?
The wrong kind of randoms. I don't know what else. There's not a lot. I feel like there's not a lot to say about this.
I'm a little bit with pragmatic on this one. Please change the subject.
All right. Well,
we've established that this exists. We've established that there are different things CD could stand for, or that it could be interpreted as different letters. Let's just assume it stands for compact disc, and this person is selling this guitar because their band now distributes their music via download codes. So they now have a DC guitar. CD just wasn't working anymore. Download codes. And their new guitar is in the shape of a QR code, or maybe it's a QR on their new guitar.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna change the subject because we need to.
Yes.
What's new, man? What is new? This is the
Oh
what's new part
man.
of the show.
We didn't decide on any topics, did we? We're just gonna
I
run
thought we
through
were
this.
gonna. I thought maybe there was an obvious topic.
Well, we'll do the. How about we do the topic in the after show?
Okay.
You know? Yeah. But so
All right.
for what's new, like I'm hoping to wrap up my drum video this
Yeah.
week. I'm in the final stretch. The issue is that I went through Drummeo's 30-day drummer program, which sounds like it would be
Right.
perfect for filming 30 days of drum lessons. But in that 30 days, they include a day off for Sundays, and they include like a question and answers video that would have been live when the program went up. So I'm actually missing like 9 days
Oh wow.
that I need to fill with other stuff. So I've been trying to figure out what the heck I'm going to do. I just need to pick up some random other lessons, and I think I'm just going to try to buzz through a bunch of random stuff this week and just get it done. So I'll finally be done with my 30-day can a drummer learn 30 can a guitarist learn drums in 30 days concept video that I've been working on for like 100 days now.
Can
Do you
a
have anything
guitar
new?
player learn drums in 90 days?
Can a guitar player learn how to talk about learning the drums in 90 days?
Yeah. So this week, I've sometimes I intentionally, but also unintentionally, kind of intentionally, post things that I suppose some people might think are um, a little absurdist way to approach social media. So, of course, this
All
past
right.
week, I went to see Death Cab for Cutie at the Hollywood Bowl and the
That is
Postal Service
absurd.
also at the Hollywood Bowl. And the picture I posted on our Instagram was taken like 5 minutes before everything started. Whereas, like everybody else posts, like, oh, I went to this show, and they post all these pictures afterwards. I post the picture from 5 minutes before the show, and I don't take any pictures during the show. I just want to be experiencing the show,
Right. Yeah.
you
Which
know.
is a mature thing to do.
And I figure everybody else is going to take their pictures and videos and whatever, so it's fine. So if I want to go back and experience it, I can experience it through other things. So it's a really good show. My one complaint with the Hollywood Bowl actually is that it sounded too good.
Uh-oh. You
Which is
hate
like
to hear it. You hate to
it's
hear that.
it's kind of a weird thing. I think it's because there's like the Hollywood Bowl fits like 17,000. I looked this up. So I assume there's 17,000 people there. I don't know how to estimate a crowd that size, but because it's outdoor, and I think because I don't know why, but I couldn't really like hear other people around me. Like I couldn't there wasn't like, sometimes you go to a show of an artist where people really like know the music, like people know the words to all the songs, and it's kind
right.
of like this experience. And I had to like there was this also yes, my wife took the pictures. She takes all the pictures, so I get to live vicariously through her even though I'm there. Um but that was kind of weird to be in this big open space and not hear. I'm hoping everyone was singing along, but because it's not enclosed, you just couldn't really hear it.
Right, because there's no reflective surfaces for you to hear the
Right.
crowd because it's all just blasting up into the atmosphere. Where like
Yeah.
if you were inside of a structure, it would bounce off the walls and the ceiling and stuff.
Exactly. Exactly. So, one of the things that I thought was interesting, though, about it, and I looked into it, and I apparently, so Ben Gibbard is the front man, singer, writer, whatever for Death Cab, and he was half of the Postal Service. And one thing I thought was really interesting is he basically played like four guitars throughout. Well, he played 5 guitars, 1 guitar with the Postal Service, 4 guitars with Death Cab. Um, and but one of those guitars is an acoustic, and acoustic guitars are boring, so I'm not gonna talk about
Ah,
those.
so
What I am
boring.
gonna talk about that I find really interesting, and I think it's a testament to the instrument, is he played 3 of these.
Really? Now I'm interested.
Squire bullets.
Oh man, now they're going to go up in value. Damn it.
I mean, they're already going up in value. So I looked up. I looked up. I know of course he's played at least 3 songs on an Aero guitar. No, he didn't. But I looked it up and found out that actually he was playing Squire bullets like back at when Death Cab started.
Wow.
That he had bought like several of them. He bought one for like $150, actually like a Fender one for like $150 in like 2000. And he in an interview he said the reason he likes them, which is definitely what's true about him, is it's a small body. It's like a 3/4 size body like a Mustang, but it's a 25.5-inch scale length.
Yeah.
So you get this really tiny body that you can, and they're tiny necks. They're like small necks, even though they're full scale. So you can do like a lot of like really bell-like, like chimey things with them. And you can play like pretty fast in a non-shreddy way. Like if you're just doing like picking like our basic arpeggios through chords, and it just worked really well. But I was just surprised to see. I always think of Death Cab as a Telecaster band, or like you know, they're I don't know what the guy's name is, but the other guy who was playing guitar was playing like like a Fano the whole time. Like his main guitar was a Fano. So of course, you know, that guy was playing some expensive stuff, but it was just interesting to like, was looking, I was like, that's a bullet. And then I kept staring, and I realized those are all Squire bullets. I just thought that was really neat. I think these things are like $400 or $500 now, but
no, dude, really, I was looking them up the other day and they're in 4 figures.
Not the Squire ones though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think the Fender ones for sure are.
Okay. Yeah, I played one of the Fender ones, I think, at Carter Vintage in Nashville last time I was out there. And oh man, it was just such a fun guitar, such a great feeling neck, such a snappy guitar. You know, it was one of the ones that has the pickguard bridge.
Oh
the pickguard is made out of metal, and the end of it is just bent up so that the pickguard is literally the bridge. It's essentially a gigantic Telecaster bridge that happens to be a pickguard.
Those ones are wild, and it's crazy. I sold mine for like $410 or something.
I should have bought it from you. I should have never let you sell that to someone else.
Now the one that I have is not in playable condition. Like, I mean, it's playable, but it's not. I think the electronics are a little messed up. So I do want to spend some time getting that fixed up at some point. But that's my what's new is so what was your what's new?
Drums.
Drums.
Yeah. And my what's new is that I dropped the ball, and I should have done an Aero guitar video, because then I would have gotten so many views, apparently.
Oh my gosh.
Freaking I haven't checked today because it makes me sick. I'm so happy for him, but when I checked yesterday, he was over 100,000 views on that video.
Good.
And he didn't even do a demo.
On the one where he just says that he didn't do anything?
Right. It's beautiful. I'm so happy for him. I wish it was me.
Oh, jeez.
I'm not sloshed. Matthew's saying I'm sloshed.
Yeah.
I'm not at all. I am a sip. I took a sip off this malort and then gave up, and I have drank a half an inch off of this scotch. So yeah, I am very far away from even feeling my booze. I'm just a silly boy. Okay.
That is accurate. This is a part of the show where, why did this one not automatically, there we go, where we talk about Chase Bliss.
There we go.
On their website, chasebliss.com. Go check it out. They've got this cool little animated thing. This is
cool website.
This is really a cool website. Of course, they've got a bunch of pedals. You got any of their pedals in front of you there, Ryan?
I do. I've got the Mood right here in my hand.
The Mood. This one right here, the Mood Mark II. It's instant
purple boy
ambience with the Generation Loss Mark II. It's a VHS duplicator. We got the Habit. We don't talk about these automatones too much, but
I've got one. I don't have that. That's the reverb. I have the drive one, the preamp one.
The preamp Mark II.
It's amazing and it's beautiful, and I'm afraid to use it because I'm afraid I'm going to ruin it or something like that. It's like a piece of studio equipment, you know? I'm not going to put Velcro on that and throw it on a board. Are you kidding me?
And
an
of course,
investment.
they did this reverse mode C. Is the small batch Bliss still going? It
I
is
don't know.
not. It ended August 31st. But of course, the one thing, if you're interested in getting in on a small batch Bliss in the future, you got to get on their mailing list so you hear about it. So you're not just waiting on social media to feed you the information. You want to get that information fed straight to you.
Nice.
Chase Bliss.
Chase Bliss Audio. Thank you for sponsoring probably 400 episodes of this podcast. It might be something like that. We should probably go back and figure out when they started sponsoring us, because it has been a really long time.
I could figure that out. I've got
don't do it right now.
do it right now.
Steve, don't. I said don't. I'm begging you, don't do it, Steve. Should we do the next ad?
Do you want to do it? Oh, yeah. We're going to save this topic for after the show. So let's just do this ad.
We haven't even agreed on a topic. Steve and I have just agreed that the topic is obvious.
The topic is obvious. This last ad is a Washburn Phoenix. It's sent by Michael Kraus.
Yep, Mike Kraus.
Okay, here it is. The Washburn Phoenix. Don't bother to Google that. I don't think it's really a thing. This is available for $500 at a local music store who took it in on a trade or just outright bought it. The inlays and detail work look flawless. Intonation past the 12th fret is 100% crap. Control, volume, and master tone electronics are functioning, yet also highly questionable. Yes, I went to the music store today and took these pics. So I guess I'm making my own ad and submitting it.
I love that. I absolutely love that. It's not the reason I picked the ad, but it definitely sweetened it up for me. It's like, oh my gosh, he went and took these pictures. It's not an ad. It's a physical listing. It's analog. It's an analog listing somewhere, and he went and documented it for us. Like, I love that. That's fantastic.
Okay, why? Okay, it does have a Washburn neck plate on it. Is that the provenance of this being a Washburn guitar? Is that it has a Washburn neck plate?
Let's take a look. Washburn Pro. I couldn't tell you whether or not it belonged on there. That might be a good point. Maybe it has nothing to do with Washburn at all. Because I searched and I couldn't find anything. There's no marks on the headstock. It looks like a fully custom sort of thing here. I've never seen a Washburn that looked anything like this. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it had nothing to do with Washburn whatsoever.
This has abalone inlays. When I look up Washburn Phoenix, it takes me to the Washburn University athletics page because they have a defensive end named Phoenix Smith.
Yeah, that's not the same thing, Steve. This is a bird themed guitar.
It also takes me to the LinkedIn page of Amy Washburn in Phoenix, Arizona.
Right. Yeah, this doesn't exist on a website anywhere. There's two possibilities, and I'm leaning towards the second one. But the first one, that this is a custom job, a domestic custom job where someone's like, I need a Phoenix guitar. And they hired a local guitar builder to make it for them. Second option, which I'm really going for here, this is some sort of weird, wonky AliExpress, Alibaba.com sort of situation where some builder in China was like, I'm going to make this crazy guitar and I'm going to sell them on Alibaba, and someone in the States bought one. That's my guess.
You think if this was coming out of Alibaba world that this would have a Washburn neck plate on it?
I think that's aftermarket. I think someone swapped it in because they didn't like they did some work on it. Like maybe those pickups are aftermarket or something like that. They swapped some stuff around. I don't think any part of this is actually, maybe those pickup rings, those cream pickup rings and the pickups, maybe those came out of a Washburn or something. But Washburn, like, it's been a hot minute since Washburn made electric guitars regularly. Like, I know they have the signature for Nuno, right?
Well, they make them. I think they make them again right now.
Oh, really?
But it's like an all import line. I don't think they make anything like this. When you go to their website, it's like a bunch of different versions of Nuno's, and then a guitar called the Sona Master, which is basically a Strat. They do a guitar called the Nelly. It's a Telecaster, but it's Nuno Betancourt's Telecaster.
Right. Like
So yeah,
I've been under the impression all their electric stuff is Nuno-centric these days, and their Washburn for the most part is focusing on their acoustic stuff.
All right, so Washburn aside, the inlay work on this, assuming I assume those are inlays, looks good. It follows the art.
It all looks
art rule.
It all looks competent. Yeah, the bird's head follows the art rule for sure. It's flying around. I'm not in love with the legs, but I understand it, I suppose.
Yeah, you gotta really understand what's going on there before you realize that those are claw feet.
I think with all the inlay work going on, I think there could have been a lot more going on to indicate what was going on with the wings, because the giant, you could play those horns into being the upper crest of the wings going down the side of the bird. But it really doesn't make a lot of visual sense. It almost looks like it could be turned into a fish guitar if you ignore the horns. Like the horns don't really flow with the bird that great. So you could look at the tail and be like, oh, this is meant to be a fish.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Also, it's just kind of a dumb looking bird face. it's got a medieval kind of flair to it, I suppose. And I'm sure it was themed after a medieval
it's kind of
depiction of a phoenix.
I'm thinking of a specific like eagle design sort of a thing that's very medieval.
Lauren is texting me what I want for my food later. She's gonna go get Mexican.
I'll
answer us when we're done with it. When we're done with this ad.
Phoenix.
I don't know. How much did they want for it? It was like $500.
$500. You're gonna buy this for $500, Aaron?
Is one of those situations where, like, if you've got a Phoenix themed band, then it's like you're the only person on the planet who's looking at this hard. And this isn't from the internet; it's from a physical store. It's in a pawn shop or something like that, or a local guitar shop. I can't imagine anyone buying this. And honestly, I feel like if I owned the guitar shop where this was being held, okay, here's two scenarios. It's the owner's guitar. He had it made. He decided finally, I'm going to sell it, or he puts it up as a showpiece or whatever. I don't like that scenario, but it is possible. Second scenario, someone brought this in to pawn it or to trade it, and the employee took that trade or they took that pawn. And if I was the owner, I would fire that person.
Oh my gosh.
Because who are you going to sell this to?
Yeah.
This isn't going to move.
They probably paid, given typical rates, they probably paid between $200 and $270 on the if this was a upfront purchase, like you sold it to the store. If it's a commission, then it's just sitting there.
Right. If it's meant to be what's that word for that? It is a C word, but it's not commission. You know what I'm talking about. Now I feel like an idiot. Consignment. That's the word. There we go. It could be on consignment.
And Michael did say that this plays poorly.
Yeah. So it's not like it even plays great.
And he points out the
fret is over.
He points out the fret axis. The fret axis is like, the more you look at it and think about it, like the fret axis is pretty poor.
Yeah.
Be not great.
So for $500, you can get a great playing guitar these days that doesn't look like a weird turkey.
Got that kind of weird lizard tongue thing going on.
Yeah, but that's
birds have that
medieval sort of thing, and every medieval animal, like art wise, is depicted from an animal that was killed because they never got up close to an animal that was alive. So it's all like, oh, you know how every animal has its tongue just hanging out of its mouth. Yeah, we'll just draw them all that way. It's not because they're dead when we get them.
Yeah, Mark said that he wants to see the Albanian flag double eagle version of this, because that
like a double neck.
because that's what this is. This is like a, and like you said, medieval, or maybe not full medieval, but this is very much like a just a mainland European
Right.
war banner kind of bird.
It's definitely, it puts the mid in medieval for sure.
Yeah. You think this is mid? I think it's just all the way bad.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, mid kind of is all the way bad. Like, it's,
No, mid is just mid.
I know, but still, like, you don't want to be. I'd rather be all the way bad than be mid.
You'd
'cause at least
rather be all the way bad.
Yeah, because at
than
least then, like, you got somewhere to go from. Mid, you're kind of stuck
I
there.
guess.
Steve, it's biblical.
Yeah, it's biblical.
Yeah, mid is lukewarm.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know. Is it time to decide? We've been live streaming for an hour. I feel like it's time to pick the winners.
Do you want to pick this now? Do you want to pick this now? Do we want to pick this?
Ooh, should we wait till the end?
Do we want to get some people in the chat? Let the people voice their opinions on this, even though we won't really take it into consideration.
Right. We're gonna go with our guts. We're not going with your guts, but we'll listen to your guts.
Lafroig is. I had to look up. I thought it was Lafroig, but apparently it's Lafroig.
I'm scrolling through everything again. Everyone in the comment sections, just start making your vote. Start shouting and commenting. And like, what if we sold it? What if we were like, hey guys, super chat us the winner?
Oh my gosh.
That would be so bad. I'm not going to do that. We'll never do anything like that.
People just start super chatting their own name.
Right. It's like selling raffle tickets.
Yeah.
Via live video. That would be so sketchy.
Is that even legal?
No, of course it's not legal, Steve. You kidding me?
Probably is legal. You probably could do it.
You could get away with it, but I don't think it's if someone caught you, it wouldn't be legal. It'd probably get you kicked off of various things. Kicked off of YouTube or kicked off of Patreon or something like that. Or there's various things we could be kicked off of, Steve. So do you want to here's what we'll do. We'll tackle this obvious topic and then we'll vote.
All right, let's do that.
Okay. And the obvious topic is,
hold on, I'm grabbing a number first. The obvious topic is the Aeroband guitar.
Of course it's the Aeroband guitar.
So I'm not going to share this, but I'm going to read it. We were contacted by Aeroband back at the beginning of September.
It feels so much longer ago.
I don't have anything showing that I think is bad, so I'm just going to share it.
Yeah, like, well, my story for this is that they contacted me. I looked at the Kickstarter and looked at all the information. I was like, this looks like a joke.
I guess the bad thing is that it's too small. So
okay, just put that down. No one needs to see that nonsense.
But what it says, your response to it was, "Hello, Lola. To demonstrate the Aeroband on my YouTube channel, I would charge $5,000." We've talked about F-off pricing. That is our current F-off price.
I think that's the only time I've ever done that, where I've been like, because it seemed like such a joke to me. It was like, this can't be serious. This product can't be serious. And the price that they had on the Kickstarter for each unit of the guitar, I was like, no, how can this be real? It must be like a money laundering thing or something like that.
It's like I think their launch day special was $299.
Okay.
Their actual price apparently is $500.
No.
Which is wild to me. I watched Andy's video. I watched Andy's video. I watched both of Henning's videos on this, and I watched one other guy who I don't know.
Too many videos.
Dude. I don't know what the name of the channel is, but he had like 30-something thousand subs, and after 9 days, he took his video down because he ran the video, got a bunch of negative comments over his first week. And
I feel bad for that guy.
And I think Andy and Henning. Oh, I watched parts of the 6-string TV video, which was Kaylin's video. I watched parts of that. There's a lot of things. I don't necessarily want to talk about Aeroband or Aero guitar, Aeroband that much.
Right.
I think the flaws in the product have been pointed out.
Right.
They put it as a learning tool. When I initially saw it, I thought they were silicone strings all the way through. So I was thinking of something more along the lines of that weird bass from back in the day. It was like a guitar, going to be a guitar version of that. And I
Right.
thought this was like, this is a cool thing. Like, um, there was a DeArmond, the Asbury bass, like a guitar version of that with like maybe some MIDI functionality. Um, but you, I think, picked up pretty quickly that they're just nubs. They're not
Right.
strings. So that's a big problem. In all of the videos I watched where people are playing it, it sounded like a Casio keyboard from the 80s, and not in a good way, in a I got this for $29.99 at the big box store kind of way. I had one of those keyboards,
Yeah.
that's like it's your 5-year-old's first piano kind of a thing, right? Um, it sounded bad. It was a very botched execution, and I think this is what happens when a company maybe gets so focused on the technical aspect of the product that they don't think about who their target audience really is. I think that's the real problem.
I think there's so many problems that it's not even worth our time to try to diagnose it. Like I know Henning is working with them to try to help improve and help give them feedback and be a consultant for them. I wouldn't do that. I'd just be like, quit. Just
Yeah.
like no, the world doesn't. The good version of this is still something that the world doesn't need. So, like, either make a MIDI controller guitar or don't.
Right.
That's it. And if you're gonna do that, it should be a good MIDI controller, because this is not a learning tool. It should never be a learning tool for guitar. A guitar should be a learning tool for
Yeah.
guitar. So there is no audience for this. There is no market for this, and it's silly. It's extremely silly, and I could tell from their own content, from their own promotional materials, their in-house content, like, no, that no one should be fooling around with this. I didn't even I gave them an outlandish, cartoonish. And I know Casino Guitars is out there telling people that YouTubers like us make $10,000 per video. No, a $5,000 quote is a cartoonish, outlandish
Yeah.
price for a guitar demo. Like, no, that is incredibly rare if someone out there is getting that much for a demo. But I threw that out there as a joke because I'm just like, this product is a joke. I wouldn't do it. Like there's no reason for me to waste my life trying to film this thing. I do want to circle back to that guy who took down his video, because really we should be talking about the YouTuber drama around it. Like,
Sure.
it's well established the guitar is the guitar. The product is not viable
Right.
on the market. Like, things can be bad and still be viable. People
Well,
will
and
still want
I'll
bad
also say
things, but it's
one
not
last
viable on the market.
one last thing I'll say, because I think this is kind of important. They raised over $250,000 on this thing.
I've heard before that a lot of times when you see on Kickstarter and GoFundMe and stuff like that, like, oh wow, this thing got fully funded. A lot of times it's not because of individuals, it's because those are financiers that they were able to find.
Oh, okay.
So that doesn't necessarily mean what it looks like it means. They were able to find
Gotcha.
financing from, a company that likes to bankroll projects or whatever.
Right. That's interesting. Okay. Well,
Yeah. So yeah, I wanted to talk about that guy who I feel pretty bad for him. I don't remember his channel name. We don't need to drag him up. But he did a straight-faced demo of it. I watched most of it. He just did his job. He just did the thing. He demonstrated the product. He showed himself playing it. He showed audio samples. He talked about the functions of it. And because these other videos came out a few days later from Henning and Andy and Six String TV, just like showing what's going on with this thing, that poor guy went to bed just feeling fine about himself because he is in Europe. Andy's video published. He went to bed. He woke up 7-8 hours later, and his channel was red hot, on fire. The servers were melting down because so many people were commenting on his videos. I was looking at the comments, and he was just getting torn
yeah.
apart.
I think the most astute comment I saw in the video, and I think maybe Andy and Henning were so on top of it, and and Kalen too. I mean,
Right.
he's a Six Strings TV is a smaller channel, especially compared to Andy and Henning, but he definitely he did what he does, which again is also like kind of part of the due diligence aspect of vetting your channels. Henning said Glenn Fricker got one of these, or at
I
least
think he was. I think he was
they
offered
contacted
one.
him.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think they contacted everyone.
Yeah.
Like,
Um.
and the fact
So
that we're not seeing more videos shows that
yeah.
it's really not a viable product. That there's not dozens of videos for this thing out right now.
But I think the guy who did the video, I think the problem is he basically did it like a commercial. Like it felt like he was only using his best takes. So yeah, he was presenting the product and he was presenting it. But
He
I
did
think
a
he
he did
did
a
like a
straight
commercial.
he did a straight faced demonstration. Like most of us, we're demo channels, but we mix in a healthy amount of personal opinion, which
Yeah.
like pushes into review territory because we're interjecting our personal opinions.
Mhm.
He did a straight face, like, here is a demonstration, here are the features, here are the functions, without commentary.
Yeah, Wayne says that Glenn said he didn't in one of the comments,
Okay.
but I think one of the comments on that guy's video before it got taken down that I thought was pretty astute was that this product uh, would really prove who the channels are that are just in it for the money versus who are the channels who are like trying to legitimately help people choose good products.
I think it depends on the style of video. I think in the case of that guy, like I didn't watch to the end. I don't know if he had a commentary part at the end, and then he took the video down, so we can't see it. If he had commentary at the end and he was like, "Oh yeah, totally, this here is fine, go buy it," then I'd be like, "Yeah, this guy's just a shill." If he ended the video and it just was a straight face demo all the way through, then I'm like, he did the thing.
I
If he doesn't offer commentary in his videos, then that's not his style. But then I also understand the point of view of the viewers out there, the people out there in guitar land that have commentary on this stuff. It is a bad look. If I don't usually have this opinion, but if you do straight demos, if something absolutely sucks, you probably shouldn't publish it. You probably
no.
shouldn't present that product as something that people can buy. Like, if you're not going to do commentary, then you should at least have a standard to what you will help promote. Like,
I
even if there's money attached to it, like there's more products to demo all the time. We don't need to like sell ourselves for one product.
Yeah. I have a distinct memory of it being of there being a part in there where he says like, "Oh," like again, I think I felt like he was just reading a copy because he's like, "Oh, this would be great as a MIDI guitar." I don't know what his experience with MIDI was, but literally everybody else was like, "This doesn't track good enough. Like the
Right.
tracking isn't clean enough to be MIDI. Like maybe it could be eventually." Um, but yeah, it's I don't know. I don't want to pick on that guy too much. I just think it's an interesting thing. I think it's this strange momentary look into the gear space where into this demo world where it seems like you kind of see how this community is built out and how
Yeah.
a lot of the time, like in the Henning's second video, he references Andy's video a bunch. And I think even in his first video, he talks about Kalen's video a bunch. And so it just kind of sees how a lot of people how these connections exist that we always say exist, but I think people forget they exist.
And I want to say that I think that, and I saw a Henning comment somewhere that it's a good thing Glenn didn't actually get one, because that would have been, like a sledgehammer smashing, like kind of over the top sort of thing. I honestly feel really proud of our community. I feel really proud of Henning and Andy, how they handled it, the
Yeah.
information that they put forward, their, how they handled the email that Andy got and many other creators got. that felt like legal threats and things like that. I'm very proud of this community because we do take that stuff not only as individuals, but as a community, like very seriously. Like we take the ethics of doing demos very seriously in this community. And we also, we also look out for each other, and we want to make sure that we're, being protected, and that that we have, a bit of an unofficial union in a way
Right.
that gives us, some sort of defensive posturing. Like if there's brands out there that want to take advantage of a creator, then they have the resource of all the other channels that they can hit up and be like, hey, is this normal? Hey, did you guys get this? Hey, this seems weird to me. Like it is honestly like a beautiful relationship that we have with all these channels. So I'm really proud of that.
I pulled up this comment from Connor. It says it's funny how most channels have a viewership that wouldn't want this product in the first place, which I think is true. And the only thing I can think of is maybe, and this is thinking very optimistically. Here's what I think happened. I think they just Googled guitar YouTubers,
Sure.
got a list. At best, maybe they did that. Maybe they just, whatever. And just,
Well, it almost
and then,
kind of looks like they went down the Guitar House or Gear Fest manifesto. And
right.
Like who is at these things? Let's just go through the list.
Yeah, pretty much. Thinking in the most positive light, all I can think of is maybe they were thinking if we can get guitar players, people who use high end, are used to using high end equipment, to say that this is a good product, then it will mean something. But I still think that this should have been, it's like your Drumeo thing. I think this would have been a good product to send to somebody and say, if they had the infrastructure in place, which Henning points out that they don't, but if they had a good learning infrastructure in place, it would have been neat to see a video where somebody has this and they play it for 30 days. And then at the end of 30 days, they pick up, they're like, I'm going to go to Guitar Center now to buy a Squire or whatever.
I was going to shoot down that idea, but then I realized if they paid enough money to Emily Harpist to learn guitar on this thing, like that would have been a good video.
Right.
But it would have taken her forever. And at the end of it, I have a feeling she would have been like, this is not a good product. Like I think she would have been really frustrated by it because she's still a fingers on strings musician. She knows that how things are supposed to be, and that product is not how things are supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just is what it is. I think I've said everything I have to say about this. So
Michael Krause says, we take demos seriously. A guy who played guitar with a tampon and animated someone peeing. Not just peeing, and not just someone. I animated Mike Fuller pissing straight up into the air and having the piss rain down on himself.
Right. I need to grab a drink of water real quick, and then let's do this at AVC. I'm going to stop my camera so you don't. I don't know why I stopped my camera.
Yeah, why'd you stop your camera, but your audio is still running? We're still going to hear you pee. I guess I'll remove him manually. So, yeah, who's it going to be coming up? Steve and I are going to decide who wins the G&L Comanche. I'm going to ship this to one of those ad senders. I might even ship it out as soon as tomorrow. We can get their address. I'm sure we can get their address pretty quick, right? How long is Steve going to take to pee? I'm going to pour a drink. Oh, is he back already?
I grabbed a snack.
Okay. I was snacking earlier.
Oh, you're going to hit that tequila.
I'm going to hit the tequila. Might as well. I have a feeling because we're having to rank them and figure out first, second, and third, this discussion is going to take a little while.
You think so?
I do.
I started following Chris from Spin Doctors on Threads.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't think he's following us, but we're following him.
Well, we'll have to get on him to follow us. Everyone go tag him and tell him to follow us. Don't do that. That would be annoying to him and he'll hate us. So this is El Telquino Reposado. I don't El Taquino. El Taqueno?
El
Tequila.
Tequileno.
This is one of the bottles that Robert McDowell funded with his generous donation to the 500th episode. So thank you, Robert. I've become interestingly picky about tequilas over the past couple of years. I do research before buying something to make sure that like it's additive free and stuff like that. So I was standing in the Bevmo aisle for like 10 minutes trying to figure out if I was going to get this one or not.
But yeah, Ryan.
Oh, hey, Robert's here. Thank you, Robert.
Thanks, Robert. Cheers. I toast the camera.
Toast. Oh, yeah. I need to give Lauren my food order.
All right. Should we? Is there one that stands out to you as not the top?
That's different.
Not the top.
Not top
ad
is the question.
Not top. The one that is not gonna win. The
I
GNL
feel like
Comanche.
I'll say top two. I think my top two are the CD and the Mustang. How do you feel about that? What's your top two?
Oh man,
it's hard. They're kind of like
I kind of like the Phoenix.
You like the Phoenix?
I think the Phoenix
so Wayne
is fun.
Bake asked, "Do we mean top as best guitar or most entertaining?" We're going for most entertaining here. We're going for what we liked talking about the most, what we felt was best for the show. You know. Yeah. Give me your top two, Steve.
I think my top two are the CD and the Washburn, air quotes, Washburn.
So that means that if we both have CD in our top two, does that mean CD wins it?
I don't know. Does it? Do you think that's what that means?
And then we just have to figure out second and third?
I don't know. That seems, I mean,
it felt a little, the CD one got a little awkward for us at times. I don't know. That's tough. While you figure it out, I'm going to
I got a question for you. Do you know why our names don't show anymore?
Well, I think I turned that option off.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Pragmatic says Phoenix. Damien says CD. Mr. Nobody says CD. Everyone's saying Landon Bailey is banned from the chat and they don't know why he's here. Hi, Landon.
Oh, great.
I think Landon, I did not know Landon prior to GearFest.
Yeah, I'm glad we know him now.
And I think Landon is like one of my favorite YouTube channels now. So y'all go subscribe to Landon Bailey, please.
Yeah, go follow Landon.
His sense of humor is very much like what I want my sense of humor to be.
I want your sense of humor to be like Landon's too.
Yeah. Why can't I be funny?
You're funny, Steve, just in a Steve way.
Oh.
Okay, so I'll try to rank the next. Well, I already said that I think the Mustang is in my top two. So we'll just say CD is number one right now, and we're trying to rank the Mustang versus the Phoenix. I just feel like the Mustang puts a nice bow.
Zolansky says, congrats on 500 episodes. We haven't been acknowledging people because we've been doing things, but thank you, everyone who's wished us a happy 500. We've been doing this for almost 10 years, and I'll say this all again later, hopefully, but we've been doing this for almost 10 years. I don't know how many, this started as a podcast that turned into a YouTube community and a relatively large Facebook community. I don't know how many YouTube videos we have now. Do you know offhand? Probably
close to
not.
2,000.
So there's a lot.
And you're like 300 of those are the podcasts.
Yeah, there's a lot of hard work that goes on to make this happen. So thank you. Thanks to everyone who's here. 167 people. Is this the most we've had in a live stream? My live streams usually get like 50, 60. I don't know what yours usually get.
I think I broke 200 one time, but this is high. This is above normal. So yeah, huge thanks to everyone who's here right now. We really appreciate. We've had milestone episodes over the years, and this is another one of them.
Yeah.
But I I always just want to make sure that it's very clear, like, obviously none of this could exist. None of this could happen. We wouldn't have done this for so long without the audience here, without people enjoying what we do. Steve and I started doing this podcast because we were essentially already doing it over text. Like we were texting each other guitar ads that we found throughout our workday and chatting about them in ways that were entertaining to us. And when we were just like, we should just podcast this. We should just record this because we're already making this an entertaining experience with each other. Other people enjoy it. And I'm glad that we were right. We had a suspicion, and I'm glad that you're all out there and do enjoy it and do find value in our weird, very unconventional guitar show. We're not the type of people who 10 years ago you would have thought would have what is like one of the more notable guitar media outlets, like podcast, YouTube channel, whatever you want to think of us as. Like we're a known quantity, and that's bizarre because neither of us are professional players. We're not known players. We're not studio players. We're barely amateur players. We just have a love of guitar as an object and as a creative thing, and it's something that is entertaining to us. And it's been amazing to see the community kind of rally around that and say like, oh, I'm like these people and I want to watch their content. So it's pretty amazing to be here.
Now Planet Solanke says we haven't made enough podcast episodes.
Well, we don't have any plans to stop. So I still can't believe it's been 500 episodes, 10 years like this. I mean, it makes sense because we started it before Henry was born and he's 9 now. So it's been that long, but it still feels like something we just started as a goof. Like it always just feels like something just silly that we do, on the side for fun. So I guess that's kind of the beauty of podcasts and why there's so many podcasts out there, because it's an excuse for middle-aged men to talk to their friends. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's cool to be able to do this, and it's cool that so many people are here for it.
All right, let's get down to business.
Yeah.
We got Mustang Husk versus Phoenix.
Do we need a spin doctor's flip for it?
I don't know. I want to hear your argument. Okay.
I just feel like the Mustang, I got a little bit more riled up talking about it on the Phoenix. So I was like, yeah, there it is. There's the thing. But the Mustang, I felt something because I was like, I felt conflicted because like, yes, it is the core of a vintage Mustang. There is value in that, but all the value has been removed, and that upset me. The Phoenix thing, who knows where it came from? Like if it stopped existing, no one would care. If it became damaged, no one would care. I feel an emotional connection to the Mustang.
All right. I as entertaining as it usually is to fight, it's hard to fight against that type of argument. So I'm going to write it down. Winning the $50 Adventurers Club gift card is the Mustang. Do you have names for these people?
I do. The Mustang was Nick Knight. So congratulations, Nick Knight, on winning a $50 digital gift certificate printed on virtual card stock. And huge congratulations for Ralph Pacheco with his CD1 listing. He's winning a $25 virtual gift card printed on digital cardstock. And huge congratulations to Mike Krause. I'm assuming it's just
Mike Krause wasn't the CD.
Oh, he was the Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Right.
Ralph Pacheco is the CD.
Ralph Pacheco won.
Yeah.
He won first place. I got so confused. Ralph Pacheco, you won the GNL. Yeah. Mike Krause won first place. He won third place. Okay, I'm all confused now. I did it to myself. I know what the order is, but okay, let's do this clean and make it seem like this is like a well done show.
Oh my gosh.
Here we go.
It's not like you're going to edit it.
No, but we'll edit it in the theater of our minds, right? Everyone in the audience, we can all agree that this is a fresh start, and we're all going to act like you're hearing the drum roll. Here we go. All right,
Ryan, you've been taking drumeo lessons. You should be doing a drum roll on an actual snare drum with sticks.
Third place, winning a $25 digital gift certificate printed on heavy virtual cardstock. Mike Krause with his Phoenix
Woo!
guitar. Yay! Yay! Second place.
No, you go straight to first place. Second place actually doesn't get announced.
What? No, that's BS.
All right, fine.
Second place with his highly
That's how beauty
mutilated
pageants work.
Mustang. But you do third and then skip second? That's nonsense. His turd of a Mustang that shouldn't exist, and it makes us all sad. Nick Knight, congratulations. You won a $50 virtual gift certificate printed on heavy digital cardstock. And now for the winner. Who could it be? The suspense is killing us. There's no way it could be anyone's race at this point. Ralph Pacheco with his CD guitar, winning an incredible grand prize of this GNL Tribute Comanche, previously demoed on this very channel. Congratulations, Ralph. It's an incredible prize. It's an incredible ad. Huge thanks to Sweetwater for providing the guitar, by the way. Like that's incredible. I didn't even tell him it was going to be for the 500th. I didn't know how I was going to give it away. I was like, send me 2 guitars. I'll give one away and I'll send the other one back. And that's what's happening. So huge thanks to Sweetwater, not officially sponsoring this episode, but I guess technically unofficially sponsoring it. Like there's more dollar value to that guitar than the individual sponsorships of the other 2 sponsors. So yeah, I guess they're our main sponsor this episode.
I gotta say, over the years we've had a lot of sponsors. Right now our sponsors are Stringjoy and Chase Bliss, and they are very much constant sponsors kind of at this point. But last month we had Pickup Music. Before that we had Under My Roof app. We've had all kinds of sponsors.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find something. Big Ear Pedals was a sponsor at one point.
I used to do when I would do demos, I would include a sponsor spot for the podcast with every demo that I did, and that just became wasn't sustainable. But
Demonic Machines has sponsored this show, which is a really cool company.
But if you went back to that time, there's probably dozens of sponsors just in that time. Like there's been so many brands that have supported us over the decade of doing this, and it's like, do you remember our first sponsor? Let's talk about our first sponsor.
Who was our first sponsor?
Ben Nystrom Guitars.
Oh, that's right, Nystrom Guitars. Very cool.
I think he paid us like $20 or something like that, and we did a sponsorship for him. I don't think he does guitars anymore, but
no, I think he really just runs guy. I think he just has a shop. Let me see if I have this back here.
What is he going to get? But that was incredible to me. And I think our first year we got a guitar sponsor, and it still feels incredible to me all the time that we have any commercial viability at all for what we do.
I've got the episode log somewhere, but I don't know.
Oh, okay, that's what you were going for.
Yeah.
All right, you were going to go through the book, the master book.
Yeah, just see what kind of other things that I don't remember that we could find. I really liked this format. I'm just going to say, if you ever want to send an ad to the show, preference is if you can figure out how to take screenshots, because sometimes we don't get to them for a few weeks and they'll disappear. But send them to 60cyclehumcast@gmail.com. And I got to say, like, maybe it won't be a regular thing. Maybe you just won't know when we do it. Maybe some Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, I'll show up in the garage and say, hey man, we should give away some Affordable pedals tonight. I'll ship them out. And maybe we'll do some more giveaways here. It'll just be random. Or maybe it'll be like, maybe we'll do an episode. We go, you know what? This is going to air the week of Christmas. This is going to air the week of Valentine's Day, and we love y'all. And so we'll find some weird, dumb ways to maybe do some giveaways, but it's just going to be random. It's just going to be random. Well, maybe we'll never do one.
I like doing it as the Adventure Club format. Well, I think that's it's built in. It's a lot of fun. There's no reason we can't do that often. I will say I'm launching a demo video tomorrow, and I convinced the builder to send me 2 of the thing so that I could give one of them away. And it's going to be an easy, like, enter your email address into a landing page for their newsletter sort of
Oh, cool.
contest entry. But the one I'm giving away is a custom color option. So stay tuned for tomorrow. There's going to be another giveaway. I do like the idea of like, taking advantage of brands and sponsorships to give stuff away, not because it like benefits us in any way, but it's like it is a fun thing to do. It is fun to like be able to send stuff out to winners and
Hold
stuff.
on, I thought you didn't like doing giveaways.
I don't like coming up with the concepts, but
okay. All right.
when it's something simple, like I don't like running contests.
Yeah.
Like this isn't running a contest. Like I didn't really even tell anyone that we were doing it this way. I hinted a couple of times because I told people we were going to give away the G&L. Like, well, how? And it's like, well, tune into the live and send in ads. I didn't get into details,
Kevin Ramsey apparently didn't listen to last week's episode. Or I forgot to shout him out, but Kevin Ramsey is one of our Inner Circle guys. So thanks for hanging out with us tonight, Kevin.
Huge thanks to the Inner Circle too, and everyone who supports on Patreon or has supported or will support through Patreon, or has supported in other ways, like Robert McDowell donated a bunch of cash to Steve and I to have nice drinks tonight. There's people who have supported us over the years. And it's always so incredibly generous, and it's not needed at all. Like no one needs to do that. We're gonna make content one way or another. It would just be made on a different level if there wasn't resources coming in. But it really means a lot to us, and it feels legitimately humbling every single time someone takes care of us or gifts us something or supports us in any way. Like every month when that Patreon deposit shows up, I'm like, man, I feel like that's more money than people should be sending us.
Yeah.
I mean, we use it. We absolutely use it. I balanced our budget last week, and I was like, okay, all right, I think that'll get us to the next quarter, I've been making more Patreon funded content and stuff like that. We find ways to use that money. And we just really deeply appreciate that people are that invested in what we do that they put money into it. So
a lot of channels build themselves on giveaways, and that's fine.
We're gonna wreck ourselves on giveaways.
The giveaways that we've done have been stupid. We did the reverbs, which I told you. Okay, this actually builds in. This was not intentional. Sir John Intravenous says 500 episodes and you still have things to talk about. Congratulations. That's also thanks to the audience.
Yeah.
We're not a topic show. If we were a topic show, we would have died probably 500 episodes ago.
Sometimes we get a good topic in a week. Not usually.
But the ads are the topics, and they're
all crowdsourced.
We get those from y'all. But he says, question, how much bickering goes on behind the scenes after 500 episodes? Not a lot, but I did tell Ryan that the Azor reverbs giveaway, I was committed to it, but he was like, oh yeah, we're going to get like 100 cards. I'm like, no, dude, you're going to get like a few hundred cards. We are not going to have any problem giving this away. We were both wrong. We got like 2,000 letters in the mail.
I think it was more than that. It was like 3,000 or 4,000. Maybe I'm building it up to something different in my head, but it's like it was insane how much.
But I remember you being like, oh no, it's not going to be a big deal. We're going to have leftovers. We're going to be giving these away forever. And I'm like, no, dude.
That's because our previous contest only got like 50 entries, and all people had to do was like click a link or something.
Yeah. So besides that, I can't think of too many things we've argued about in the production of the channel.
If we had to figure out a percentage of time that we argue about things, I would have to say 0. I know every now and then we like, no, let's do it different. Like, but you and I don't bicker. We don't fight. Yeah. Like we don't butt heads. Like we're both pretty much on the same team. Like if we ran for office, we would both be each other's vice presidents basically. Cause it's just like, oh yeah, just like I trust you, go do it. Or like, oh yeah, that sounds good. If you're saying that's good, then I'm just gonna, yeah, sure. I haven't had a thought on it, so I'm just gonna go with yours.
Sassy says, I told you you're gonna get, dude. We got swamped. It's true.
Yeah.
But
everyone said that. Everyone says that for everything though. Every time I cover some cheap pedal, they're like, oh great, now it's gonna triple in price, and it never actually happens. Yeah. So like everyone always thinks that things are gonna happen, but most of the time they do not. So I still feel vindicated in thinking like we were going to be left with a ton of those reverbs. still shocked and blown away. That was 2 Christmases ago. That was 2 years ago, and we're still talking about it. Like the people who work at the UPS store, when I go in and check the box, like they know my face because they probably have me printed up on the wall somewhere. Like, look out for this guy. Like he's going to get bags and bags of mail sent to him.
They probably put your phone number on it, so it's like as soon as they get more than one thing in the because they send an email when there's a package. Probably when there's like 3 packages, they're like, we have to call him because this is gonna.
Who knows what's going to happen?
Flood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, I can't think of. Everything else has been small. It's so small I can't even remember it. So, so yeah, there's that. Are we ready to open up this motherfucking pit?
I wonder what people think we would fight over, you know?
Yeah. I dropped the link in the chat.
You beat me. I had my finger on the button.
If people want to jump in, you know, when I do my streams with my Sunday morning streams, I always say like, you know, just come prepared to say something. I mean, I guess people don't have to, but you know, that's what I always say.
We can also just hang out and read comments too. Like people don't have to join. This tequila is very good. I recommend this. It's
hold on, Jay Spammerson,
smoky caramely flavor.
Jay Spammerson just sent us an email that says, just a heads up, guys. Looks like Reverb is trying to recruit people to finish you off. Proof is in the attached photo. Let me show you this photo.
What do you got?
Share screen. Reverb has it out for you. How to find and eliminate 60 cycle.
That's better than what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be them starting a podcast. Okay. All right. Thank you for banning that person, whoever did that. That's why we have so many mods. Unless you did it, Steve.
I was just going to put him in timeout, so someone went all the way.
That's a bannable.
And that's fine.
Yeah. Jeez, people, come on, grow up.
Where is 40 Watt Philip? He's probably watching the football game, whatever football game is.
Everyone watching right now is like me, Steve.
They hate sports.
It's not that I hate sports or that we hate sports. The non-sporting community out there is that we legitimately don't even really know that it's going on, and we wouldn't watch it if we did.
That's fair. I don't know.
It's a deep and sincere apathy.
Oh, Mark says, I imagine Steve's wanting to do his own thing on the channel and Ryan's holding it back. No, I have ideas, and when I get when I get the time to film them, they will be on the channel.
I've never been anything but encouraging for Steve to come and wreck the channel with his own content.
Yeah. I'm going to start adding people in, though. Sir John 4, you don't have any devices, so I can't add you.
Yeah.
But here we go.
Hey, who's it? Kevin Ramsey?
Kevin.
Sounds like he's watching the game.
Hey, how's it going?
Going good. How are you doing, Kevin?
Just chilling here.
Trying to figure out if there we go. I think that's a better layout. Am I wrong?
Yeah, that works. Good job, Steve. So what are you watching, Kevin? What's on TV? Or is that us?
I was watching you guys.
Oh, okay, that's us. That's getting the echo.
Yeah, I turned it down.
Cool.
I'm putting the link in the comments in the chat again if anyone else wants to click and join. What should we be talking about, Steve?
I don't know.
How'd you? 15 minutes left.
Let me ask this question, Kevin. How'd you find the channel?
There you go.
I started out watching a lot of Philip McKnight, and you guys were actually put into my recommended.
Oh, cool.
Nice. It's nice to hear that YouTube is doing their job and
yeah,
connecting us to people. I was just telling people on Reddit today my Philip McKnight story because someone was like, what do people think of this guy? And I was like, well, the first time I met Philip McKnight, I was a brand new channel. I think I just started like leaning into doing demo videos. And I think we maybe had like maybe 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. It could have been less at that point. And I ran into him at NAMM. And I was like, oh, hey, Phil. I was just like grabbing his attention as he was walking by. I was like, hey, I have my own YouTube channel. I'm trying to get it to grow. I was wondering like if you have any tips. And then Phil McKnight talked my ear off without like taking a breath for like 3 hours straight. And I ended up with Phil McKnight standing in front of the Anaheim Convention Center after it had been closed for like an hour. Everyone was gone. The lights were off. It was just me and Phil McKnight standing in front of the convention center and him just continuing to give me all these tips and ideas and things that he learned about how to be a YouTuber. And that was my introduction to Phil McKnight, is that he's just a super helpful guy that will just sit there and just talk to you and just he'll throw the whole book at you. He'll tell you everything you need to know about anything that he knows. Like, he doesn't care how much time it takes. Like, he's just going to do it. He's just going to pour knowledge on you. And I think like that's an obvious reason why his channel is successful, because he takes sincere joy in just dumping knowledge on people. So that's my hot take on
He's
Phil
a
McKnight.
really good guy, and he has a lot of information. It's helpful to take notes when you're talking to him, but be pretty quick about it.
I've said before, when Phil McKnight talks, I listen. Like, that's just I'll break in and make jokes and stuff like that, but he always has something really interesting to say about guitar and like the business of doing YouTube and stuff like that. Like, he's a really cool guy.
I'm not sure how we got into this part of the algorithm.
And his wife is hilarious.
Haro Glop found us because he was watching the top 3 guitarists in history, and YouTube recommended us.
That's unfortunate. How did that happen? Maybe that's how most people found us, is by the wrong thing being recommended. YouTube failing. Robert is here.
How you doing, guys?
Doing good.
Hey,
how are you doing, Robert?
Good. Just got back not too long ago from Big Sur. I remember that anniversary trip we went to,
Nice.
for my wife and I.
How'd that go?
Excellent.
Good,
I feel
good.
recharged again. I think I can actually go to work tomorrow with a smile on my face.
I'm cracking the second bottle that you bought.
Oh, great. Well, remember that project that I told you I was going to, or I think I found the a application for something that you had listed?
Yes.
The new Fender.
Oh my goodness.
Highway Series. Yep,
Yeah.
I sure did.
Well, now I wish I would have demoed one of them so I could have sold it to you.
Oh my God.
Well, it seems to be, a fairly common practice.
Yeah. Robert, by the way, for everyone who doesn't know, in video land, Robert is local to me, and he has bought way too much stuff from me, to the point where some of it I just give it to you. I'm like, Robert, just take it.
You did do that here recently, and I want you to know that all 4 besides myself, the other 3 guys at the office really do appreciate that one that you donated to us. Because I tell you what, at lunchtime, it's kind of like a pass around type thing, and everybody doodles a little bit with it, and nobody is professional at it.
Good. I don't want professionals playing the guitars.
I tell you, well, I brought it home and I went ahead and put some flat wounds, because I know that those guys there, and they've been out of it for a little while, so their fingers don't have the calluses on them like they have in the past and stuff. So it's been great. Breaks and lunchtimes, we just been playing the Orangewood, just really great.
All right, Robert, walk of shame question from Michael Kraus. How many guitars have you bought from me? But yeah,
1, 2, 3.
Do you still have the lead?
Yes, I still have the lead.
You still have the lead. Nice.
Yep, I still have the lead, and I have the Jazzmaster Acoustasonic, not the Jazzmaster, but the Telecaster.
Yeah.
Acoustasonic. And let's see, the Enya,
Sometimes I feel bad listing stuff locally. Like I'll sell stuff on OfferUp and Craigslist because I know like Robert's going to see this.
Well, I mean, you're in my saved channel. I mean, what do you think is going to happen? Anything that you list is going to pop up for me. Now, I haven't bought everything from you, but
I'm glad because that would be too much stuff. I'm adding 2 more people. We've got 2 other regulars, Snarky and Amanda Coombs.
Oh wait,
I knew Amanda was going to be on here sooner or later.
I do want to say one thing because it's amusing to me because this was it felt like a little bit of a gambit when you first started doing them. It's an obvious gambit, but Deanna Fisher says that she started watching guitar unboxing videos and that's how she came across all the guitar channels. So apparently unboxing is working out.
Yeah. That I like. Some people ask why I do that format, like viewers ask and also manufacturers ask, and I'm like, it's easy for me. It takes a day of work for the most part, so I can charge less for it, and it freaking works. People show up for it, and it's not like I actually like people hear unboxing and they think like, oh, it's going to be an hour of someone sniffing all the packaging. No, that's maybe 20 seconds at most. I get the sniffing done really quickly, and then we move on to actually doing a demo, you know?
I know I came across the channel not so much for demos or anything. It was actually I was looking for surf music.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that came up first, and I watched the different things that you would do with the different reverb pedals, because that's where I was learning about reverb pedals was from you. And I was just pretty impressed. And then I started to pick up on a few little hints in there. Wait, man, he's in San Diego, you know?
Right.
Then goes down the rabbit hole.
All right. Hold on.
I don't know where I started watching. I think when you went to Tolman.
Really?
Yeah,
must have been
a long time ago.
5 or 6 years ago now, or something like that. Like that feels. It's probably sooner than that, but it feels like it was like 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah, I think maybe 5. I don't remember.
Yeah, 5 years.
And I'm friends with Henning, and Henning said you guys are great. So.
Well, Henning's great. Like
Henning is an awesome guy.
That first year at Tolman was my first connect with him, and you know, it's another guy that I just was really impressed with and really excited to get to spend time with him.
Yeah,
fellow guitar
dinner is ready.
I know. The microwave went
Not
on.
fun.
Did you put in your food order?
I did. I asked for a carnitas plate. And Lauren kept asking what to get for Steve. I think she thought you were here, Steve. So I put in an order for you,
drive.
and we'll mail it to you.
Oh my
All right, I'm gonna take a sip of this last bottle of booze. I've been working through 4 bottles of booze here. This is a rum. We did Malort, which I did not finish.
Turn out too well. That did not go out too well, did it?
I decided I didn't hate it. I enjoyed the experience, but I didn't need to finish it. So what does that say? Then I did the Monkey Shoulder from Jason Welch. He also sent the Malort, which was beautiful. And then this is one of the bottles you bought, Robert. This El Tequino, not sure how to say it just yet. It's a additive-free tequila. And then I just poured this rum. I've never bought an expensive, nice rum before, so I thought I might treat myself.
Dark rum.
Hey,
It's
Ryan,
very dark.
Ryan, I want to throw something out to you.
Throw it.
I know we normally go 2 hours. We got a decent crowd here. I think we should
keep
just
going.
run it for a while. Yeah.
We could wait till the food shows up.
Well, here, let me see. Here's to you guys. You know, I don't drink, but it's the closest thing I get to it. But here's to you guys in your 500th.
Thanks, Robert.
There's a comedy music video about O'Doul's where 2 guys are like rapping about it, because that's like they've decided O'Doul's is their rap group brand of choice sort of thing. But the whole song is them like wondering why they can drink so much of it but never feel drunk.
Oh my gosh. Snarky,
can I speak now?
Yeah, you can speak,
for it.
Snarky. I muted you because there was a lot of noise going on and I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. What's going
it's
on,
all
Snarky?
good.
How are you doing? All right. Let us know when you're ready to say something snarky. We're waiting. Yeah, let's keep going, Steve. I've no desire to wrap up here.
You have no
already all set up.
desire.
I've got no desire. We're at 119.
Wrap up
We are down from 170. We were having a more successful podcast earlier. Here's what we'll do.
I tend to drive people away. I don't know.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make a game of it. We're going to keep going as long as we stay over 100. If we drop down to 99, that's it. That's the show.
This is going to end real quick. This is going to end before 2 hours.
Anyone who's about to leave is going to feel guilty. They're going to have trouble sleeping tonight.
Mark wants to know if we have any interesting analytics.
Statistics about your viewership. Probably not. It's probably exactly what everyone expects.
Yeah.
Let's see.
The exact age range and genders that everyone expects. Although Emily makes a strong case that you can't really trust the gender information from YouTube/Google.
Yeah.
So according to
you're beating me because you're on stronger internet right now.
According to YouTube, our audience is 96.5% men.
That's actually not bad.
3.2% women and 0.3% user specified.
Ooh, come on by and unplug that and hand me that new pedal, please.
All right. Here you go.
The thing I always think is interesting is that our audience skews, I think, a little older. I guess I don't know how it compares. I say a little older, but we are the median age. You and I, Ryan, are basically the medium age.
Right. It's weird that the demographic we represent would be the demographic that tunes in most often.
Snarky, tell us about that pedal.
We both have the same pedal. Snarky, he already told me that he bought it based off the video. It's a fun one. This is that Most guy that I covered a while back. Patreon funded, by the way. Patreon's funded a $80 pedal purchase day for me.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, so our core audience at 23.7% is the 35 to 44 year old folks. So
this
if you
thing's a blast, fellas.
The 741, yeah.
You don't have the TV turned up again.
I'm gonna add Damien, and I'm gonna address this from Paul Crane because you kind of mentioned this. One thing that we have been told, Emily over at Get Offset did a little bit of a research into it and just kind of testing some things. And so Paul says, I'm surprised there aren't more women subscribers. And something that is kind of seems screwed up in the way that the
Hi, fellas, how you doing?
Is that basically if you don't put a gender on your channel and your channel profile and you watch a lot of guitar channels, YouTube just assumes you're a man,
right?
And even I think so.
Well, I think it will actually pick your gender for you if you haven't put it in there based on what you're doing. So if guitar content, the majority of people watching probably are men, even if the stats are incorrect. So Google just assumes you're a man.
Well, thank you, Google.
Right.
Like I say, the ones that are subscribed, they're top notch.
Yes, absolutely. Obviously, it's like we want as many women watching as possible. In fact, that would make me feel very flattered. if the viewership was flipped, then it would confirm my claim that this is a thirst bait channel. So yeah.
You're not afraid of somebody stalking you?
I'm afraid of the men stalking me. Are you kidding?
Ryan's gonna just start doing one more button per demo,
right.
One more button down. Just boop, 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 boop. Start adding watts.
Oh,
and everything.
And
remember that
issues
one
with
where we all...
me, so I hope you guys have a good night.
Good night.
You have a good night.
Hi, Kevin. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Kevin.
One that ended up, I think a bunch of us lost our shirts that night.
Oh yeah, I forgot
Asking
about
how
that.
many guitars you bought from them.
It was I think what's going on is Snarky's behind in the video because he just said
he just said about how many
guitars you bought from me.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on. Snarky, you're in the past right now. When you get to this point, I'm sorry, you're about 15 minutes behind, and we've been wondering.
It's future us telling you to speed the video up, bud.
Maybe he's watching us in slow-mo. What if he's watching it in half speed?
I don't think you can do that on a live.
I don't know if you can.
He's found a way.
Wait, you can.
Wait. Oh no, you can. Oh,
that's kind of wild.
You know, that is the recommended way to do this, because like, if you please watch all our videos in half speed, because it actually logs more minutes for the analytics and just helps us all out. And so it also gives more room to squeeze advertisements in there. You know, everyone makes more money. And you weren't actually watching anyways. You're just, you know, like hanging out and playing in the background. So yeah, you don't actually need to hear the guitar tones and stuff. So people out there are listening, just like, oh.
Well, that's just like the Sun O mod to have a demo video. Just make it all drowned out.
When I'm doing a fuzz video, it just makes it extra doomy. Just play at half speed. I should do a video of that. I should be like converting my video into a Doom, and just
every demo into Doom.
Yeah, I should do it to other channels. A Doomo. Are you kidding me, Steve? This is why Steve and I don't bicker, because Steve drops things like that on me every now and then. Doomo? A Doom demo?
A Doomo.
It's too good. We don't deserve it. We'll wait for someone to steal it or do it on their own.
Snarky, are you have you caught up to us in the future?
He wouldn't know, because he's not going to hear that message for another 10 minutes.
Yes, I have.
Oh, okay.
Fantastic.
Yes.
He's here.
No, I'm
here.
hearing you.
Okay.
There was a time frame. It looked like you were kind of lagged in
like
the
you
past.
were way behind.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thanks, Snarky. By the way, Snarky sent in an orange micro terror.
That's not my fault.
Snarky sent in an orange micro terror that
we're
going to give away eventually.
Send you an orange micro terror.
Yeah, we're gonna give it away in the future at some point.
We decided to make this episode all about the GNL, so we're going to give it away a different episode. Probably doing the same thing. Probably
after it's been cleaned.
Right, I'm gonna give it a bath. Yeah, you've got your Epiphone there. It's like Crackle one that you brought to show us at Sweetwater like a year and a half ago.
Those are so cool.
They're really this is that guitar I bought when we first met.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You bought it at Sweetwater. That's correct. I remember that now. They had it out on a corner display.
I love the clear pick guards on those, and I wish that they would do that more often.
Totally. Yeah, sweet. Dude, this thing has been a case clean. There's nothing wrong with it.
It's because you prefer your PRSs.
Are you saying that it was clean when you bought it because it's...
Yeah, that's right.
No.
I'm starting to feel 10 minutes behind.
My PRS. No, I can't hear Steve.
It's all right. I didn't. So
he didn't say much.
Yeah, that's a cool guitar, man.
I'm gonna put the link. I'm gonna put a link in the description. And we're at 123, Steve. At this rate, we're never gonna end the video.
You're never going to get off this thing. Everybody loves you.
It's until we get under 100 or we give up. Steve and I always reserve the option to give up whenever we want.
What if you want to give up, but I don't? Are we just going to use the Spin Doctor's pick for that?
He's got an advantage on you, Steve. He doesn't have to get up and go to work tomorrow. You have to arrive.
Tomorrow's a work from home day for me.
Right? Oh, okay.
Party boys! Oh shit! It's gonna get crazy. Oh, gosh.
Bring up the air horns.
When the food shows up, I'm just gonna I'm gonna mute my mic if I need to, but I'll hang out. What was I gonna say? It's all my mind is a blank now.
We need to start bringing back the food mouth noise episodes.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
why
we're
were
talking about that? Remember, we would just eat burritos while recording, or was that
why
just
did
me?
we ever think that was a good idea? Like, I can't remember why we didn't have a reason to do it. It was just like, oh, we got to knock this out quickly, so we'll eat while we're doing it because we got to have dinner.
Yeah,
we're younger then,
It was so stupid. I've given a lot of advice. We've given a lot of advice to new channels over the years. We've never had to tell a new channel to stop eating on mic. Someone should have pulled us aside and been like, "What the hell are you idiots doing?"
People did, but
I
just
know.
not
Why
people,
didn't we listen?
Your wife says she was the one who stopped it.
She probably was. She probably was. Hi, honey.
Smart lady.
You don't have to be smart to figure that out. What does that say about Steve and I? Like, that's normal, basic intelligence stuff. Yes, Lauren is smart.
You can read between the lines if you'd like.
Like any normal person, any reasonably even below average person could be like, "Hey, what you're doing sucks." Gross.
It really adds to the allure of just like sitting like with your friends and just like talking about gear. But when it's that close, it's just
and also I had no idea what I was doing audio wise. Like, I knew how to like record a guitar a little bit.
The levels all the way up.
I didn't know what the hell I was doing with microphones. I didn't know what the hell to do with compression or EQ or anything like that. I was over processing everything to hell. So it's hyper compressed and you're just hearing everything. I remember people complaining in the first probably dozen episodes, like, really can't tell the difference in the voice between these two guys because I was processing the shit out of it because I have no idea why I was doing that. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. Like, I had to watch some tutorials and stuff on how to edit audio to learn what I was doing. But that was bad.
Do you still use any of the same equipment that you ever started off with, or is all that gone down the road now?
Ryan's actually live streaming this from the original laptop. That's why.
No, I am not. No,
that's
I'm
why
not.
everyone's.
Remember, that's the one he dropped all the drink on, wasn't it?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
nope,
he had.
Nope. I'm currently using the laptop that I poured a beer all over because
it got it fixed.
It didn't. I didn't have to fix it. I just kind of like let it drain out. I took the back off and I let it like
put it in rice.
I Q-tipped cleaned around circuits basically to get as much beer out as I could, and then I waited a couple weeks. I waited a couple weeks before turning it on, and it turned on. And the only thing that's been an issue, a couple of the keys were really sticky and would get stuck in because it was like this thick, sugary, dark, rich, stouty porter beer, and like the space button still sticks a little bit. The previous computer, Steve, that one got broken because
I know why.
Henry and one of his friends were playing Bug Exterminator with squirt guns, and they were just running around the house squirting stuff. And they opened up the laptop, which was on the table. They opened it up and like, it's full of bugs, and then closed it and ran away. And so then it just sat there on the table for probably a couple days. Steve came over. I was like, "Oh, hey, Steve, go grab the laptop for me." He picked it up and water poured out of it.
So, I mean, this is pretty late in the program here, but that's what Patreon is really for.
Yeah,
for kid expenses.
I couldn't believe when I poured the beer on this computer, though. Like, that was like my heart sank because I had just gotten it like a month earlier or something like that. It was used. It wasn't brand new, but it cost me like $700.
But it was that emotion that came out of you just as soon as it happened. It was classic.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
it didn't feel classic. It felt like a nightmare. And that was during COVID. So 3
years I think ago, at least.
That was early COVID when I started doing all those live streams.
I think Cardboard Steve was still in play.
Oh yeah, Cardboard Steve. Do I still have him, or did I give him to you? You have them?
I don't have them, so
Oh.
I think he's stuffed between a couple guitar cases somewhere. I don't know.
I think the Starkey's raising his hand. I think he wants to say something.
No, he's saying
Oh,
bye.
He's
bye.
waving
Yeah,
bye.
he's
Hi,
gonna say bye.
Starkey.
Peace out, Starkey.
Yeah, he couldn't. I don't think he ever figured out why he was like lagging, and then I think he caught up, and then somehow ended up 30 seconds behind.
We love Snarky. Thanks for joining us, Snarky.
So, Amanda, what you been doing lately?
Yeah, how are you doing, Amanda?
Nothing.
Honestly, that sounds pretty good.
I'm retired. My dad's in a long-term care home, so I go and visit my dad a lot, and I got kids. So I take care of the house myself. I don't have time for much else, but I don't really do anything exciting.
Honestly,
I like it like that.
That sounds like the dream. Sometimes, like, you have parts of your life where you're like, I want to be busy. I don't want to like do nothing. But then sometimes I think about what my life would be like if I didn't have to work at all. And I'm like, no, that sounds great.
I dream of that.
Dude, like
it's great. But I don't know. I still don't have extra time. I don't know how that happened. But
you said there's kids involved, right?
Kids.
Yeah, there it goes. Right there.
But it's still like people do have this desire for the most part to like fill up their schedule and be busy for some reason. So like,
yeah,
I know that I would fill up my schedule immediately if I was able to retire, but it would be like cooking meals and things like that, and like extracurricular stuff with the kids and whatnot. And it'd be life stuff, but it wouldn't have to be like, oh, I need to go make this money now. You know, like if I don't make this money, then blah, 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 you know, like it sounds nice. We should all be,
projects for me.
With all this AI and the robots and everything that can do everything, we should all just be retired and the robots should be caring for us. Like, why do we have to do anything? There aren't farmers anymore. There's people who own land, but they have robots farm everything. They have these huge machines that plant all the seed and harvest it all. I know there is work. Farmers, don't at me. I know there's real work involved, but it's way less people now. All those people who used to be farmers, maybe they should just be retired. Maybe a lot of us should just be retired.
About to say farm tube's gonna start coming after you.
Yeah. So anyways, that's been Ryan's socialism minute.
Yeah.
Is that socialism? I don't know. I think you still have to work under socialism.
Yeah. Somebody's got to do it. Just not me.
That's my post-scarcity utopia minute, I suppose.
Oh my God.
Ryan Burke hates American farmers. I don't hate them. I just want them to retire.
We both hit share, and so it killed it.
That's how it happened. We're both too quick on the draw. Oh, I'm not allowed to eat the food yet? Lauren Burke says, I got you food. You're not allowed to eat it yet. Oh, because I'm on mic. I can mute the microphone.
Let him eat it full blast.
Okay, if I remember right, there was a time she came in and didn't she made one float right by you one time coming into a show? I
forget.
That. Yeah.
I forget who keeps requesting it. It might be Jason Welch, but in those early days, there was a character called Burrito Man or Tortilla Man.
Tortilla Man.
Tortilla Man.
Yeah. I should have ordered a flour tortilla, and Tortilla Man could have made an appearance. Now I feel bad.
How do you not just have a flour tortilla available?
I don't have any of the big ones. Tortilla Man needs a big one that wraps around his head.
Just get like two, and just.
I don't have.
It
has to be flour.
It's the variant costume.
I'm about to have corn tortillas, but they're not big enough.
Well, never mind. That's a sentence.
It's the version 2. It's like the player 2 version.
I guess it would be more like Tortilla Boy, because it would be like a Batman versus Robin sort of masked real estate on the face situation.
I don't like Tortilla Boy. I don't like the idea of Tortilla Boy.
Please don't say Tortilla Boy again.
Well, the image that pops in my head is you, Tortilla Man, and then Steve runs in like, hey everyone. And now you're the crime fighting duo.
So
cleaning up the streets of San Diego.
Robin is the boy wonder. What would Steve be as Tortilla Boy?
The boy misfortune.
Yikes.
The boy Rito.
Oh my gosh. Unfortunately, that actually kind of makes like it. I mean, it's almost like you're saying the boy, but it kind of makes
The
sense.
little boy?
The boy, the
in
boyito.
the language. Yeah, the little boy.
Boyito.
The
That's
boyito.
worse than tortilla boy.
The boyito is
Boyito. Because now we're committing crimes against language.
Oh no.
Which is something Steve and I have never cared about. I guess crimes against someone else's language. It's fine
Oh,
for us
it's-
to commit
Crimes against
Yeah.
mine, yeah.
against the English language.
Someone at work told me. I think I mentioned this on next week's episode. Someone at work told me recently that for basically was for an old guy, you have a pretty good command of Zoomer lingo.
Was he talking about you or me?
Me,
Oh, okay, yeah.
because I don't remember what we were talking about. I was like, yeah, that stuff's mid. And this person just
Bring it.
looked at me and was like, most 39-year-olds can't use mid correctly. I was like, well, thanks, I guess. But also I have a 14-year-old,
Oh.
so
Lauren is teasing me with the
For
food.
real. On God.
Mm.
oh my god.
No
Is
cap.
that-
No cap, all facts.
I'll mute.
All facts.
That's
No,
us.
no printer, all facts.
Were there tortillas with this?
As a teacher, as a high school teacher, it is scary how much it has slipped in where I'll be talking to someone and I'll catch myself like jokingly saying, but like still very much oh God.
Yeah, there's no tortilla there.
That's a carnitas plate. Lauren is bringing me tortillas.
She's flying it like a frisbee. Special delivery.
I'm gonna mute my mic while I eat this, guys. You guys run
Oh,
the show.
No,
Oh,
you need
boy.
to be. Come on. Mouth
Oh.
sounds.
Is that your Italia bass in the background?
Yeah, it is the white base is that's the Italian. I'll grab it for you. Let me grab you. You have one. Oh, he took his headphones off. He can't hear me.
There it is. It's
Yes,
happening.
that's how I
It's
feel.
happening. Oh no. Oh.
Tortilla boy reporting for duty.
Oh, you have the guitar version of the Mondial. That's
Yes,
cool.
I do.
If I'm gonna do this, it's gonna be full screen so someone can screen grab this at least.
So hold on, wait. What? So so you need to make a
Tortilla boy is here to save the day.
There needs to be an offshoot band to Dinosaur Ghost, where it's everyone wears tortillas on
Now
their
I
face.
have to
Oh my
use
gosh.
this for a taco.
You did that. You chose that. It's worth it.
The problem is if it's a surf band, there's like a 99% chance it's all white dudes, and somehow like Ryan and the Burrito Boys seems a little colonial.
Ryan and the California is
All right,
brings it in a little bit more.
The California Burrito Boys is a solid band name.
That's
That
a
is
good one.
That's a very good. And everyone, it's you have to make sure that there's a little French fries sticking out. That's the whole thing, right? It's the French fries in.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, you're.
All
Yeah.
right, come on, Ryan. Pinky's out. Pinky's out.
Good grief.
Lauren, if you're listening, I need hot sauce.
What is this, a food podcast? And almost a
could
geography
be.
podcast?
I wish.
It's been everything else over the years.
Yeah.
The food
Those are
show.
my
We
favorite
need
moments.
originally we were gonna we kind of talked about occasionally doing our dinners on podcast nights as 60 cycle yum episodes. But that unfortunately to this date, so it could happen in the future. I think we did it maybe one, we tried to do it once.
Well, I know he's been in the vehicle before doing it. So why can't you both be in the vehicle? Kind of like doing that carpool carry, that other show.
Carpool.
Yeah, and
Carpool 60 cycle mukbang. No.
Typically, so typically we eat, and it's it's me plus Ryan's family. So it is kind of hard to do that format with kid. I mean, Ryan can maybe decide whether or not what he wants to do, but it's a little lacking cohesion to have kids running all around in the background when you're trying to make a video eating food.
Hey, Steve, you know how
Ryan.
We kind of just don't think that kids are ever listening to the show, so whatever.
Yeah.
My kids are listening to the show in the other room.
Well, that
are they tearing little holes in their tortillas?
Hey, Lauren just told me they just heard Steve drop the MF bomb. So that's going on. Sorry to all the kids in the audience. Hi, Henry. Hi, Edith.
The Blanco Burrito Boys.
The Blanco Burrito Boys.
So any more new dinosaur ghost?
We have Winter Surf Fest booked in February, I think. That's going to be like an Anaheim show.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to mute the mic, guys. You guys talk about other stuff while I'm chewing.
All right. Damien, what you been up to?
I moved recently. That's been kind of fun. So I haven't been doing a lot of stuff. I moved, got a new job. I'm still teaching. That's fun. And I actually just filmed my first Instagram video in my new apartment. And I'm very excited. I'm going to be pushing that up tomorrow. Yeah. But nothing super fun. Nothing new. Actually, hold on. Wait, no, there is something new. 1 second. Hold on.
Did he just speed that up real quick? Or did he really run that fast?
I'm exhausted.
I got this. It's the Idiot Box effects, the 3D. So it's just 3 delay pedals in line with each other. And I'm super stoked on it. It's a lot of fun. It's gigantic. And it doesn't self-oscillate, which is frustrating because when I got it, I was really stoked and I was expecting it to like go crazy, but it like gets right there and then it just sort of poops out real quick. Yeah, but it's nice. So it's a nice little like analog-y, digitally, or like analog-ish delay. The best way I can describe it. It doesn't want. No, it doesn't. Sadly, it gets like I said, it gets like right there. Ryan, you need a full screen. You need a full screen the food. Full screen. Zoom
taco camera.
Taco camera
here. See the sauce.
Where are these? Where are these from?
This is from El Patron, which is a local Mexican place. Actually, I'm wondering where my guac is. There's usually a glob of guac.
There's guac in it. Oh no, that's not. No, that's the lettuce. Never mind. That's a lettuce leaf.
That's the lettuce because it's a carnitas plate. I think the guac might be in a container in the kitchen right now. Whatever.
I did not realize how. Oh, there he is. I did not realize how delicious the food in San Diego was until I actually went. And I went for Comic-Con this summer, and oh my goodness,
it's Philip.
Aloha.
There he is. Philip, how many Novos and Gibsons do you own?
That's a personal question, and I'm going to ask it. Mainly because
only if you give him $10.
Yeah, I need my toes.
Patreon.
To take my shoes off, so I'm not going to do that.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, them dogs coming out.
Why is that the attack the moment I get on here? What the
It's your turn.
It's every time I've seen you post recently, I've just seen it. It looks like almost a new Novo every time. I'm just like, how?
So I own 2 Novos, and I've only ever owned 2.
They're
One,
really nice though.
Yeah, one I bought new, ordered custom, and the other I bought used. So, but yeah.
They are really nice. They're very nice, and I love the sunburst on them too. Even though I hate the spurt, I hate sunburst, but I love sunburst at the same time.
So that's unfair. Like almost the entire.
And I think we've had this conversation before.
Yeah,
I think we've had this conversation. It's the most like dad blues guitar color.
But it's perfect.
But it's so
perfect. So I'm a big believer in the sunburst. It's the power of the burst. That'll be my book title when I finally write.
I'm actually surprisingly, even though I'm someone who loves sparkly and bright colors and stuff like that, I'm actually a lover of a sunburst, like a good sunburst.
Mm-hmm.
I like the vintage ones where it's like it's real yellow in the middle with a really tight banding from red to dark. Like that's what I like. But like on a Fender, not on an awful Gibson or something like that.
Let's see if I can do this. Let's see if I can be super fancy. And
yeah, but people say that sunbursts and stuff are boring and like, no, I think they're really cool. It's a really neat contrast and a burst from various earth tones. Like it's a cool look. Like that looks beautiful.
That's my favorite burst I've ever seen.
Yeah, I just wish Fender would do the more extreme like vintage style bursts like they used to.
My thought on bursts is that people, nothing can be boring when you can do it wrong. Like if there's a wrong way to make one, then it can't be boring because there's always the opportunity that you're going to see a sunburst and be like, that's a bad one.
Oh man, I've seen some very bad ones, and normally it's my favorite bad ones aren't like the typical like tomato burst. The tomato burst, almost red all the way in, except for that tiny bit of yellow. But the worst are when the black edge actually goes way too far into the body, and it's like this keyhole of yellow.
Yeah,
I know that's a style on a lot of Gibson style bursts where it's that tiny little almost pick shape of yellow just floating in the middle. But come on, let's retire it. It's not cool.
You know who does it worse though is the brand Vintage.
Oh yeah.
When they try to recreate that burst, it's like it becomes like a cartoon caricature of that. I love vintage. I love Vintage guitars, the brand, but their bursts can be real bad.
Yeah.
I rediscovered my love for Silverburst a few weeks ago too. So I've just been looking at Silverburst guitar, just like, oh.
I'm not really hot on Silverburst, but when it's like that legit, like it's yellowed and now it's a green burst.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or Antigua.
Oof. Yeah, that's basically Fender's. I mean, Gibson's Antigua.
That's what my baritone is from the Squire.
Ooh.
I love Antigua in the same way that I love ugly Christmas sweaters.
That's what it is. Antigua is the ugly Christmas sweater of guitar finishes.
Yeah. Antigua in the Discord is not going to be happy to hear that.
Oh man, I haven't looked in the Discord in a while. I barely have time to keep up with mine.
No, it's a speedy world.
Yeah. Damien, you're in a lot of Discords. Every time I join,
so many Discords.
He's already there.
I'm in so many Discords. You know who's in a lot of Discords? Pedal Playhouse Joan. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my goodness.
Super active in most of them.
Yes.
I'm like, how?
I'm jealous.
If anyone wants
that ability.
If anyone wants to talk about like anything without me ever seeing it, then doing it in the 60 cycle hum discourse is probably a good place to do it.
So
you want to keep a secret from me, but do it in public?
Ryan.
It's like we said it out loud, Ryan. You could have seen it if you wanted.
The plot to overthrow Ryan, the plot that Steve is making to overthrow Ryan, it's all in Discord.
Oh yeah,
public knowledge.
You could be planning a coup in public, and I wouldn't find out.
Oh, a sparkle burst.
So
like a
do a sparkle burst. They used to, like, when I bought mine, the one I ordered, it's gold top gold over a 3-tone sunburst, so it starts to wear away and you can see the burst. I wanted them to do gold sparkle over a 3-tone sunburst, but they said they stopped doing color over color with the sparkle because it just doesn't look good. And I'm not sure if they still do a sparkle burst, but I think it was the same reason that they stopped doing that one, because it just wouldn't come out right. But Doug over at Cower does the most incredible sparkle bursts I've ever seen.
I would love like a sparkle, like a silver burst with like a rainbow sparkle in it, but like kind of not like really tiny sparkles, like kind of thick sparkles. Ooh.
Doug is your guy then. If that's what you want, Doug will do it.
How do you feel about a Twilight sparkle?
If I had Cower money, brother, I'd be there. But I do not.
I get it. School.
There it is.
The kids are playing Tortilla Boy in the kitchen, apparently.
Tortilla kids! Also, I share the sentiment of loving SGs, but cherry is the worst color for SGs. And one of the worst colors in general.
That's the one I
It's
have.
better. The only good thing you can say about cherry is that it's not black. You know?
I would take a black guitar over cherry guitar, though.
I think the black is better in a
day.
SG as well as the cherry. I have a cherry SG, and I would take almost any other color,
unless it's like an actual vintage SG, because then it just looks correct. It just looks right. It looks good.
For me to pick a black SG over a cherry, it would have to be like vintage, worn in, like matte finish and chipping on the edges and stuff. Like it would have to be like kind of cool and beat up looking.
How about this then? Let's take this conversation this direction then. If you could only have guitars in one finish, now ignore this guitar was never made in this finish, those kinds of things. We're in a weird world where this is
obviously possible. Yeah.
But you can only have guitars in one finish. You can have as many guitars as you want, but they're all going to be that color. What's your finish?
Gold sparkle.
I knew you were going to say that.
Well, not even flinching. Yeah, I'd be happy with every guitar in some sort of gold metal flake.
Ryan, have you seen the gold sparkle Cower that's on Reverb right now?
I haven't, but I can imagine.
You have.
Like the
I sent it to you.
It's the goldest of gold. It's gold sparkle with a gold guard, with gold hardware, gold pickup covers.
That's too much. That's flaunting it. That's just opulence. But the Cower's finishes have just been bonkers for years.
Yeah.
Now. Like it's like I don't know what he's doing over there, but he's doing it right.
I would have to say this, like an off-white, aged white would be for me. Because I would say green, because my aluminum neck is like an olive drab. It's the Ranch olive drab, and I love that color so much. But just so many guitars don't look good in it, where it's just like it can look kind of poopy real quick, and it's just like But an off-white, chef kiss.
Yeah, off-white is really nice.
Or like a black Les Paul custom sort of outfit, but with chrome hardware, not gold hardware. Like chrome or nickel hardware.
The off-white would actually be like my ideal SG. Like I'd prefer to see an SG in white or off-white every single time.
Oh, like a metallic off-white. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Damien, that the whole black with gold hardware, the Gibson Les Paul Custom is the only guitar I like that on. That's literally the only time I ever liked that combination.
I can't do the gold hardware though. Chrome hardware any day. Chrome hardware, nickel hardware any day. I'm so much more of a fan of that because it looks so much cleaner. Who was the White Snake guitarist? The John Scott Skies? That he had that outfit. Yeah. Oof. Ooh. So good. Or just silver burst. Just like a vintage silver burst. That'd be great.
Ryan, your wife says she would have Henry says cyan sparkle. Are you gonna tell the kid that the printer's always out of cyan, so he'll never get it?
Ooh,
also, obviously, the kid of a graphic designer saying cyan.
Yeah, I don't talk like that around the house. I don't know where you picked that up from.
Probably from the printer saying it's out of cyan. Oh, what a weird
Ooh, gold crackle. Ooh.
Henry
bad
said that
news,
he
we're at
wishes that
98.
Henry, when I got the St. Vincent Sterling, Henry was like, it would look better in green, and I was like, oh shoot, you're right. So yeah, he's got color opinions that I'm I don't disagree with.
Yeah, apparently.
What were you saying, Steve?
Oh, we're back to 100. We're back to 100.
Oh, good.
We dropped down in the 90s for a little bit there.
Oh, that's scary.
It either went down because I got here or it went up because I got here. You pick.
We're gonna say it went up because you got here.
All right. Well, what's your finish, Steve? By the way,
I can't believe we're maintaining triple digits. So whatever.
Mine, I think it is Sunburst, but I am a little the two over here. Where's my finger? There it is. Do only really get to like the orange in the middle, like an orangey brown. So when I said, I don't know, almost half an hour ago, there's, if you can do it bad, then it's always interesting.
Yeah.
I have owned a couple bad Sunburst, but I think it's more like people will say, well, it's two-tone or whatever. I'm like, no, it's yellow and black. Like there's no fade. So
yeah.
But yeah, I think the classic kind of Fender 3-tone Sunburst is that would be my if every guitar was one color, it would be that one.
Yeah.
I
Mine's burst, and I'll show you why.
I'm a fan of bursts, but with black pick guards. So
I will say, like, Philip has the Junior back there in Sunburst, and that is actually one of the guitars where I feel like the worse a burst is, the better is the Junior.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. This guitar,
there's some really bad ones.
only looks good in two colors. They're going to be a little controversial for Gibson fans. It looks good in a Sunburst and in Cherry, and I don't want every other guitar in Cherry.
Is that controversial? I feel like we should save this for next week, maybe. But is it controversial when they only make that guitar in Sunburst and Cherry?
They also do a black. They do natural. They do. They've got a bunch of other finishes. I've seen them in white or off-white.
I know they exist.
The off-white and the natural are really nice.
Agreed.
The off-white just feels a little too Tom DeLonge, but I don't want to rile Ryan up too much. So
don't get me going. I can't upset Poway anymore.
I'm not familiar with this brand, but anybody? Maxitone?
No.
Oh, Maxitone.
I never heard of them. I never played them.
Yeah, it looks like they're an
Let's look them up.
Kind of Greco-Tysco era.
Yeah, they look way in that like Tysco old school harmony vein.
So I think what you can kind of expect a lot of these guitars were all made in the same factory by the same people that were coming out of Japan in that period. So some of the prices I saw on a glimpse were really high. I don't know, but
yeah, I'm seeing one model for $950 on Reverb and another for $499.
Yeah,
I feel like it looks like one of those like bolt-on semi-hollows with single coil sort of deals.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
but
that $499 one looks kind of tempting.
I think typically those guitars from that era and manufacturing area that survived are usually at least fun. At worst, it's going to be a fun guitar. At best, it could be, your new signature sound.
Yeah. Look at this thing that got recommended to me on Google as I was doing this. Oh, you're not going to be able to see because it's on my phone. But maybe I'll hold the phone up to the camera and go full screen.
Remember, he's been drinking. Now he's had food.
Steve, are you pushing buttons?
I didn't push the button. You pushed the button.
I must have pushed it twice. That thing's cool looking. It says it's a Suzuki Aerotone. This is like the craziest high-tech way of doing this dumb thing.
What's going on with the lower horn there?
It looks like rocker switches, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I thought you meant the shape. Robert knew what you were asking.
Yeah.
No, I thought the shape too. I was like, yeah, it's ever so slightly longer than the top horn.
No, I couldn't see the detail to see they were rocker switches. So
Okay.
I also don't have my glasses on, so
I switched places with Steve.
That's weird. That means I'm in charge now.
But that guitar right now on Reverb is $315 plus $167 shipping. The shipping.
yeah,
is in.
the $4.99 Maxi Tone had $80 shipping. I'm like, nah, I don't want it that bad.
If it was, oh man, I don't want to say. It's a cool looking guitar. It's got that like I bet it was made by the Gaiatone. I bet that's a Gaiatone build.
It looks like Gaiatone for sure.
I didn't need to see that.
Close Reverb, Ryan.
Yeah. The only thing that keeps me from buying stuff like that all the time is the fact that, like, just because of doing this job, there's going to be 3 guitars that show up next month. So what business do I have buying things? You know.
Yep. That tracks.
Doing this work is saving me from buying a lot of crap.
Oh my gosh.
Doing
It's also taking up a lot of room too, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Doing this is making me buy a lot of crap. That's all. I'm saying. I have the opposite problem.
That's how it starts, and then one day, that's how it starts, and then one day it flips on you, and all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, slow down. It's too much stuff. No. I didn't buy any of this. Why is it all here? Yeah, big old humble brag here, guys. I have too much stuff.
What do you mean?
It just gets sent to me, and I get paid to have it.
I have
it's
more
so
money than most
hard.
people have in their lives. Boo.
I know this is real hard to understand for a lot of people. Would have been years ago for me. There's an anxiety that comes with having too much stuff.
Oh yeah,
it's so serious.
Mm-hmm.
And it wears on me all the time, constantly with like gear. Like I
can see the circles under your eyes. You're stressed out about all the stuff that you
Well, no, I'm a librarian. That's what stresses. I'm a librarian in America in 2023. That's what stresses me out.
Got one of those really loud jobs. That stresses you out.
Oh my gosh,
brother.
Yeah, that's why I'm stressed. We'll say that's why.
Yeah, I salute you for your service, brother.
Yeah, you too, dude.
Hell yeah.
Doing what you do, where you do it.
This is getting weird.
I know it's super weird. There's a stress of having
public servants, sir.
When you know you can't play all of them, or there's stuff you're holding on to for dumb reasons. Like Ryan, I guarantee you have a hard time selling off anything you've gotten in exchange for doing demos back when you didn't get back then. You have stuff that you get attached to the people who make it too.
Dude, like that's a big part of it, is that a lot of the stuff that I have that I keep is because I have like a personal relationship with the builder. Like I know them face to face. Like I've seen pictures of their kids and stuff like that. We've had personal conversations. I can't sell this thing. I had a personal conversation with him, but I know that in reality, if I ask them, like, are you okay with me selling this? They're like, I don't even remember making that, dude. I don't know. And they're not going to care. Like I love my Fuzzrocious pedals. I haven't done any videos for Fuzzrocious in forever, but I love Ryan. That's not me. The other guy's name is Ryan. I was speaking in weird third person. And it's like, I can't sell this. Like Ryan told me he gets all his ideas in the bathtub. That's amazing. Like you got like these like personal connections with these builders and stuff. It's like, I can't sell this. Like I felt really bad when I sold the Roni guitar. It was in a moment where I was freaked out because I did have too much stuff at that point. It's like, I just have to sell some things. And I still feel a little bad about that. I wasn't playing it a lot, but it's like Paul Roni built that, and I know Paul Roni, and I could have kept it.
That guitar's popped up at least once on Reverb.
Maybe I'll buy it back.
I was thinking about buying it back.
Yeah.
My biggest fear is if anything, God forbid, ever happens to me, what my poor wife is going to end up going through.
Oh, dude, plan that stuff now. I already have someone who I've talked to who is, if anything happens to me, they're in charge of selling off my stuff for my wife, get a decent price, don't let it sit too long, and they can keep 15% of whatever they sell off.
Yeah.
Not
Steve
a bad
and I
idea.
had that pact for years now. It's like, if one of us dies, the other one will just take care of it. if one of us, I think I've said if Steve wants to collect 10% or something like that, like why not? It's going to get my family way more money than going third party. And I know he'll have a good time doing it. He'll be sad that I'm dead, but I know it'll be the most exciting thing in his life for like 2 years.
I know that Lauren's listening, so just make sure she doesn't have any ideas right now.
And if my kids are listening, don't worry, Daddy's never gonna die. They know that's not true.
See, we all know hitmen, right?
Whoa!
Oh man.
Man, that got really fast.
Oh my goodness.
Also,
dark.
I'm gonna lighten it up from there. Legato asked, "What's a good word for a guitar that's perfect in every way, but one thing breaks the deal?" I'm gonna call it an Achilles.
That's a good way to think about it. But Steve and I often joke about people who say that they would buy a guitar if it wasn't for that one thing. So it's like, I'm gonna call them the one thingers instead of the one percenters.
I'm gonna call it a Schecter.
Oh. What's the one thing for a Schecter that's like off-putting to you? That keeps you from buying
so legitimately, I remember when some of the past few times I've gone to like Guitar Center or Sam Ash and I've tried one, I feel like they're right up my alley because they're kind of like not like shreddy, but you can like do a lot with them. It's the necks. Every time I just they feel too like there's too much there sometimes.
Right.
But also I don't have nearly enough tribal tattoos to justify actually owning one. I don't drink enough Monster. I don't.
They really like. I say they should shake that look. But if it's working, if it's selling guitars for them, maybe they shouldn't. Like, there's not a lot of products left for the 2000.
Yeah.
For the aughts bros out there, for the people who miss Maxim magazine, like that crowd,
It was them.
Is that gone?
I hope so.
Please
don't ruin my day and tell me that Maxim magazine is the only surviving paper publication in the world. Like,
they're doing more of like that, like a decently priced.
They make good guitars.
Like they make cool stuff. I just whenever I think of Schecter though, I think of the like the crazy weird flame maple with like the just hella abalone, and that is forever burned in my brain for me.
Yeah, too much abalone, the tribal stuff sneaking in here and there, like the vampire text logo, like those things hurt Schecter, and they have done things that get away from that, but not enough.
The one guitar with the stripper inlays.
Well,
right.
There are other offerings. I went through their website recently because I was talking to someone else about it. They do a little of everything. They do have one headstock with a logo that I like a lot. It actually kind of looks like the Sir headstock a little bit. Yeah. And the text looks great, and they make great guitars, especially for the $1. But of course, the one guitar Schecter I've ever owned was one that had the vampire teeth logo that Ryan was discussing. I hate that one.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Like the Bram Stoker's.
They have one. They have a Strat style now where it has kind of like that Squire that was released semi recently with the 3 single coils, where it's like one's in the neck and then you have 2 sort of near the bridge. And I think it's like a 24 fret model. It looks really cool, and I feel like it would probably play really well. But that means I'd have to go to a Guitar Center to try it out, and probably not gonna do that. But if I did,
and deal with Guitar Center. Yeah.
Actually, the ones in Orlando are pretty good. I appreciate them.
So there is
really nice.
A Schecter that, like, anyone looking at it would be like, oh, that's a Ryan guitar. It's the Schecter Ultra 3. Do you guys remember those?
No, but I can look it up.
I'm going to try to get a picture on the screen here in a moment.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. That was what sent me down the rabbit hole looking at Schecter's website the last time I was talking. It looks totally like Japanese import. You know, it's very extremely cool. That was the one I saw in a music store, and I was really looking at it. Then I was like, "Wait, that's a Schecter?"
So the question is, Ryan, do you keep the like Filtertron-y pickups, or do you go for something else?
I'm trying to load it. Okay, my computer's going slow. I'm about to show the picture.
I do
Just
take
so
everything I
everyone
said
knows
back. The Nick
what we're
Johnston
talking
Strat is a fantastic guitar. I will say that. I do take that
Oh,
back.
they-
the
they
Nick
make-
Johnston Strat is sick. That guitar's awesome.
Is it showing it? Where is?
It's showing.
I'm going snarky here. I'm 10 minutes behind you guys. Okay, well, maybe it'll catch up and show it. My computer's really dragging here for some reason. There it is. There it is.
Oh, and I didn't realize they have like a German carve on it. Oh, okay, that's
Yeah,
really
it's got a German carve. It's got
Okay,
a big
I take
speed.
everything back.
It's got these Filtertron things. It has this like the whale tail headstock, which I'm not a huge fan of.
Yeah.
But they're really cool guitars. My one thing with these, they must weigh like 13 pounds. They're one of the heaviest guitars I've picked up in a store ever. They're
That
just
sucks.
yeah, and I'm probably like overestimating there. It's probably like 9 1/4 or something, but I just remember them like I held one on a strap and it hurt my neck, like just standing there. But like if they could make that out of a lighter wood, I
Yeah.
would be all over.
It's got that raised
One of those.
section like a
Yeah,
Firebird.
it's
Natural
got the Firebird
finish.
center. Yeah.
Natural finish, black pick guard. I'm there.
So they make it
I'm
in
there.
a red, vintage red, and I think the vintage red is killer looking.
I like the blue.
I don't like the black Filtertrons in it. If it had traditional Filtertrons, I would probably like it
But
better.
those are humbucker sized. You could swap them for anything.
That's true.
I like the
3
there's a
Billboards XL 500s.
there's a cream one.
Oh, there's one at Guitar Center.
Robert, you don't need it.
Wait a minute. You didn't know that first?
Robert,
You didn't know
buy
it
it,
first?
and if you
Robert,
if you don't
Robert,
like
you
it,
know
send
the
it to
deal.
me.
Wait for me to buy it first, and then I'll
Yes,
sell it to you,
there
so
you
I don't have a
go.
loss. You know.
I'm about to say, when has lead ever been a part of the equation?
The blue is nice.
When's the
Blue
last
is
time you
nice.
actually needed a piece of guitar gear? I mean,
No one needs any of this.
Yeah.
No one needs any.
Things you need: a
This.
two channel
I need it.
lamp,
I need
a
it.
tuner.
I need
and a
it
guitar.
for my sanity.
That
Oh.
you would, but it's like we would all survive without guitars.
oh, okay, yeah. In the scenario,
No, I needed it.
But
play
that doesn't
guitar and have
that
them.
doesn't devalue guitars at all in any way.
No,
In my
I
mind, it
needed
makes them
3
more
to laser
valuable
one.
because we want them. We want them, and that's what makes them valuable. We don't need them. Like if we needed them, we would all just be playing super strats because it'd be utilitarian.
Right.
We want them, and that's what's powerful.
If you well, I don't know. Super strats, I think, are kind of like
I just think of a super strat as like the final form for electric guitars. Like in 1,000
No,
years,
no,
the way all
I know-
violins look the same, all guitars will just be super strats.
I know why. I know why you're going there.
2023, let alone in 50 years.
Yeah, I know why you're going there. I'm just thinking about it as a car. Like super strats in my brain is like the Mazda Miata.
Well, I'm just talking about an HSS configuration strat shape.
Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe it has a Floyd, or maybe it has a hardtail, maybe it has a strat trim. Like it could have a different loadouts, but that's just the default electric guitar in my mind.
You know what you just described?
this?
All
Like
all
that.
those words.
What? Yes, all the words. What were they?
Turbo vans. You know, like
Okay, so that's
when-
your hot take. Is that
when you
super
take that
strats
do-
are the turbo van of the guitar world?
Yes.
That's not bad.
No, think about it.
That's not bad.
It's efficient. Like you can load like 7 people in one of those things.
Mhm. It does everything you want.
You can load
It-
7 pickups in it.
It'll
It's ergonomic. It's nice and comfy for a long road ahead.
it'll go fast. I mean, you want to say that the Super Strat is the Corvette, but it hits so many things that people need, and you want the turbo van because it goes fast.
If you're looking for the thing that does everything, it fills every guitar player. Like
Don't say a Les Paul. I'll be.
No.
I'll
Say a
be
telly.
right now.
You're gonna say a telly.
no, we'd all play
No.
PRS.
Line 6 Variac.
Okay, no.
ERS.
we would all play PRS if it were all about the maximum tool to do every job. It's a PRS with those great coil splits.
It's a silver sky with a humbucker in the bridge.
See, when I close my eyes,
pushed in with a spoon.
when I close my eyes and imagine guitars in 1,000 years, like this is a Bill and Ted future. They're all just Ibanez's. They're all just Ibanez HSS.
No, we're not going to have guitars in 1,000 years because there's not going to be any more guitars built because we're all going to be like fighting over the Alaskan landmass after all the ice is melted. There's not going to be time to play guitar.
There's Antarctica too.
Isn't that the plot of Waterworld?
Yes. Yes. We're going to be fighting in mech suits.
Actually, in 1,000 years, guitars will be banned globally, and that sounds awful, but it'll actually be a utopia, and that'll be the thing that does it. Like they go thing by thing for 1,000 years, figuring out which thing to ban to try to help humanity. When guitars does it,
and then Rush comes back and ruins it.
But
Alex Lifeson's great grandchildren find a guitar. But tuning in a cave.
The peace doesn't last because, of course, teenagers want to be rebellious. But they're being rebellious in the way like, we just saw that we saved humanity by getting rid of this, and now you want to wreck humanity. Of course they do. They're teenagers.
That's what teenagers do.
That's what they do. And that will be the purest form of punk is when these kids start playing guitar, even though it's banned and this actively destroying society in front of their eyes. Like they had a utopia and they're destroying it just to play some rock and roll.
They find a like an ancient tome in some like old abandoned Kmart, and it's a Mel Bay book.
We're just workshopping a movie now.
It becomes a new religion. Is this like BC Rich Warlocks? Yes, all BC.
Is this like a direct to Roku movie?
They're wandering a Kmart, and all they find is a Mel Bay book and a copy of My Chemical Romance's 3 Cheers to Sweet Revenge.
Oh,
this just sounds like great value Bill and Ted's. Is all this sounds?
Yeah,
Wild Stallions.
Oh no!
Oh god!
What amp is on behind you, Philip?
That's a Two Rock Burnside.
But why is it on?
Just like breaking in your tubes?
Because I was playing before we started.
Okay, all right.
Because he's ready to shred.
And I forgot to go over and turn. It's on standby, but I forgot to go back and turn it off.
He's ready to.
I was like, is he just showing off? Like, what's going on? I just leave my amp on. No big deal. I've always got a tube amp on, ready to go. That's how people show off, right?
The number of nights I've left amps on in this room overnight. You won't talk about
it. What's bad is like when it's in your garage,
electric
and you stop
like this.
It's bad when all your stuff is in your garage and you work in your garage and you clock out Friday morning. You finish a demo. And then you come back bright and bushy-tailed Monday morning. Oh. I hope that doesn't hurt it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It really doesn't actually.
No.
It keeps it. They're still on, but if you're not putting signal through them, it's really not that big a deal.
Actually, like if you do leave your tube amplifiers on full time, it actually rearranges the crystal lattice in the tubes to perfectly harmonize with the Earth's magnetic fields. So you will sound better. You just have to make sure to never turn your amplifier off.
Well, now I'm never turning my amp off.
It sets them to 432 hertz.
Yeah, exactly. You want to have your amp vibrate at the same frequency.
Where's my boots? Because it's getting deep in here.
As some guy on the internet would, you know.
I remember watching the documentary thing when Fender was making the EVH 5153s, and they said that they were that they would clock out Friday, and like Eddie would put a guitar up on the speaker cab and just let the amp feedback.
Yep.
And then they would leave and then come back, and it would still be like.
There's people who do that stuff.
Works. Oh, I do that. That's half my live performance. It's just
apparently
unruly feedback.
I listened to Corey Wong's podcast when he had Wolfgang on, and he said that when they were designing the 5150s, that's how that they determined whether or not they could stand up to the road. Is they would lean a guitar wide open up against the amp and just walk away from it. And if it was
There's
still on,
people who do that.
oh, it worked.
There's people who do that because they want to rearrange the molecules in their Martins and stuff. Like,
Actually,
they want to.
you're actually right. Like,
no, I know I am. I went to one of the fretboard journal summits years ago. This must have been like 6 years ago, and big acoustic crowd in that group.
Mm-hmm.
And it was sponsored by Martin. And I was hanging out like their after hangout thing, and just all these Martin people just telling all their tales to each other and all the stuff they do and all the stuff that they believe and every single thing. Martin people are like Martin people are the acoustic version of Rickenbacker fans.
No, they're not.
That might be too extreme. But I've heard some Martin people say some wild stuff. So
no, that's like bourgeois guitars.
Are Rickenbacker fans like?
First of all,
I feel like acoustic fans are just like
decide the moment you become a Rick fan, you got to decide: are you a Rickenbacker or are you a Rickenbacker? And those two sides never like each other.
No, I have 2 Rickenbacker videos on this whole channel. I get comments almost every other day from someone correcting the way that I said it, and that's their only comment.
Yeah,
and the other half of the comments are people just commenting all caps someone who played Rickenbackers. Tom Petty, and that's the whole comment. Like they enter the room, Petty. They shout a name, and then they leave, and that's all they do. Rickenbacker fans are a wild bunch.
The Beatles, but it's spelt wrong.
Right, Beatles. No, they won't do Beatles. They'll say the person. Joe
Lemon.
Joe Lemon.
What?
No, but that's what they do. And they show up and they like some of them will write books, they'll write paragraphs and just everything that they feel in their heart and their soul, just the emotional range that they experience thanks to Rickenbacker existing as a company. When I did the first video I did is me in a shop going like, I'm not sure I connect with these. I'm not connecting with these guitars. And people acted like I had spit on Bob Rickenbacker's grave or something like that. I don't know if Bob Rickenbacker is still alive or even if that's his name.
I don't think that's his name.
But people take it so personally as a brand. Like Rickenbacker fans fight amongst themselves whether or not it's okay to remove the Made in USA sticker that's on the pick guard.
Oh my god, that's fun.
Oh my god.
They fight about it. Like not like bicker, like no. F you, you don't deserve to own one of these beautiful machines.
Hi, I'm the founder of Rickenbacker Guitars, Bob Rickenbacker.
Bob Rickenbacker. Bob Rob Rickenbacker.
Totally real name.
Bob Rickenbacker.
Bob Rickenbacker. A
Bob
real
Bach
person.
Rickenbacker. This should have been the beginning of the episode.
It's funny, I will say that one of the coolest copy guitars like I've ever played, like lawsuit era guitars, was a 12-string Rick copy that was really, really nice. But I just can't get behind the necks just because they don't do like the normal thing where they go like that.
Right.
They just go, they're like that. I just can't.
They're mop handles.
Yeah. They're mop handles.
No, they're like a big tube that was just cut off on either end.
Put out on you. Someone in a Beatles cover band is gonna assault you on the street now.
No, someone just had a stroke.
Wait, and then
Bob Rickenbacker.
They put 12 strings on that effort.
Yeah.
Like what?
Right.
Sorry, I censored myself. I forgot.
And hardly any of them have wiggle sticks.
Edith and Henry are still up listening to this.
Orville Rickenbacker, creator of the Rickenbacker guitar, not the popcorn.
No,
that would
Orville Rickenbacker.
That
has to be a Chipson ad. Orville Rickenbacker.
Oh, I'm sure it's more than
one. It
once.
has to already exist. Yeah, he's made 3.
Where
of those
it's a Rickenbacker, but there's popcorn coming out of it.
So here's the thing: my 2 Rickenbacker videos are they're fine. They're okay success wise. I think each one has made me like $200 in ad revenue, and both of them are unpaid. They weren't paid demos, obviously. But I look at them and like, I want to spend more time pissing these people off because it's good views and it's good interaction, but I cannot justify. And even though I know I'll be able to reflip it and sell it, I cannot justify spending $2,000 on a guitar just to troll people. Like,
and you know that every time you do, there's some like old school billboard style forum out there for Rickenbacker fans because they refuse to step
still using
like Facebook groups, and your video gets shared and they immediately all come over.
I can see when it happens. Like I can see when that video, when one of those videos get shared, all of a sudden it'll be like, oh, it goes from 50 views a day to like 400 views a day. And then all of a sudden the comments up top, like I'm getting 12 comments a day on this. It's on a forum somewhere.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's called Rick Source is the name of the website for the Rick.
They probably get shared. And literally the first video is like, why don't I get along with these? Why, it's fine. Like, I just don't get along with these. And they acted like, I did something terrible to Bob Rickenbacker. They're reasonable videos. They're not hit pieces. One person told me in the comment section that I was going to be responsible for Rickenbacker closing down as a company. I'm not joking. Like that, they're going to lose sales and they're going to close, and you're going to rob us all of our beautiful special instruments. Like this video, no one's going to not. People are going to buy Rickenbackers because of this, just to prove me wrong.
Is that what you did 2 years ago?
It was during COVID. It was when I went to Moe's.
Right, Moe's. 63K.
And then I did another video at Sweetwater where it was like, oh, here's a Rickenbacker I actually like. It was like the John Lennon super short scale one. I was like, oh, this one's kind of fun. People still hate that one too.
Because you said it was kind of fun. You didn't lose your mind over it.
I wasn't over the moon, but I enjoyed it. But that's not enough. Like you have to worship it, or
you have to embrace it as like a genius piece of engineering or something.
You have to get one of those 80s. You have to get one of those 80s bolt-on ricks.
Yeah.
Refinish it. Piss everyone off.
The problem is that that's the Rick that I actually want.
And then charity give it away.
Well, here's my thought. Like, here's my justifications, and this should have been maybe I'll rehash it in another episode because this should have been like a highlight thing, not a thing buried at the end of a live video. I either buy a Rickenbacker and I make some content with it just to get the views that I crave, that I'm addicted to unhealthily, and then I flip it back onto the market and I sell it easy peasy. I just did the thing. I scratched the itch. It was a $2,000 investment, and I got it back for the most part.
Yeah,
fine. The other option is I gotta go nuts. I buy a Rickenbacker, then I mod it,
have it refinished in gold circle.
I refinish it. I swap pickup.
Yeah.
I put a Bigsby on it. I put a Floyd Rose on it.
Oh no!
Like I bastardize a Rickenbacker for the sole purpose of pissing off Rickenbacker fans.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a worthwhile investment? Is that a Patreon fund?
I say yes, but only because I'm not the one having to spend the money on it.
And then, here's the thing. What's the French term for like? Here's the grand finale.
The piece de resistance.
Now, after I've pissed off tens of 20s of Rickenbacker fans,
he's gonna drop it off a bridge.
Then we auction it for charity, and no one can say anything without looking like an asshole. I destroy a Rickenbacker and auction it, and it goes to kids who need money from Rickenbackers.com or whatever. The Bob Rickenbacker Foundation.
The Bob Rickenbacker Foundation for kids
Bob
who
and
need money
Bacher
from Rickenbackers. The Bob Barker Rickenbacker Foundation.
And then the third option, which is actually
rest in peace,
more doable but also upsetting in its own way, and I've talked to Steve about this, is just going through Alibaba.com and AliExpress and whatever and ordering every $200 awful fake Rickenbacker, and just like I'll do like a replacement one, like trying to find the best fake Rickenbacker or trying to find the worst fake Rickenbacker. That would be more fun. Trying to find the worst fake Rickenbacker on the internet. And then as each one gets dethroned, because I don't want to sell counterfeits if they're marked as counterfeits, I just burn it.
Oh, jeez.
Just take it to a bonfire and
you log
it.
Yeah,
I don't want
it. Typically, Ryan, with these, like, my position's always been if you land on a counterfeit guitar that you really like for whatever, maybe it's good, I don't know, they can't all be bad, that you just like etch fake into the back of the headstock.
Right. A Fakenbacher.
Yeah, just whatever. I don't know about this destruction thing. You're gonna get a lot of that guitar could have gone to a kid,
but it's a fake.
A frickin' Bacher.
Yeah. You don't want a kid. You don't want a kid to know about the how globalism works.
Right,
you could buy all the cheap ones you could find and run a whole series of videos trying to make this cheap imitation as good as a Rickenbacker.
Right. Here's the thing. I could end every video. I could do this as a part of owning a real Rickenbacker, or at the end of each video, I could be like, I guess I don't really know how this compares to a real Rickenbacker. So it could be just as good as a Rickenbacker for all I know. And I just troll the Rickenbacker community so hard that some rich Rickenbacker bro out there just buys one for me. Just sends me a Rickenbacker. Please just have a real Rickenbacker.
A super fan.
And it'll all be worth it, and I'll feel awful, and I still won't like the Rickenbacker that he sends.
You'll keep it in the back of the videos for a few months.
I'll make a video saying that I don't like the Rickenbacker that was gifted to me, and I will be a villain on the internet.
Yeah, that's your heel turn right there.
People flipped out one time because Phil McKnight returned a guitar he didn't like to Guitar Center. He returned it. They have a 60-day return window. Yeah. I'm just going to take a gift and say I don't like it.
Oh my god!
I don't understand some of the Phil's videos. They had people flip out when he returned an amp for something. And I was like, it was broken. It came to him.
Of all the things to be upset at Phil over, returning things to a store. It's a store. They take returns.
It's a store. They take returns.
Of all the stupid things throughout guitar internet culture that people got upset over, what
that could have gone to a kid.
He did a guitar, and it sounds like maybe he did an amp. And it was part of the story of him doing video. And he only told you because he's a super duper honest dude.
Right.
Who just talks about everything. He can't help it. That's the only reason you know that about him. Because anyone else would have just returned it and
never
whatever.
said anything.
Never said anything. I still have it. Don't worry. I sell stuff all the time. That's the equivalent of returning things. In this case.
Pass it on.
Right. I don't have room for this. You got to make space. But the fact that people got that upset about that, and if KDH had been around when that happened,
oh Jesus,
he returned the return gate. Returning things you don't like. You're being a bad consumer. You're failing consumerism.
Yeah, exactly. You got to take it back.
If you don't take things back that you don't like, you're letting the communists win. And I'm doing that to speak to the capitalists out there, but literally you are. You're supposed to return stuff.
The KDH video having doctored AI generated firsthand film of Phil McKnight's returning the guitar.
He does a dramatic recreation. It's some person in a bald wig,
all with a trench coat on.
I guarantee there's some kind of Blair Witch Project AI video generator out there. He'd just do that.
Somebody on next Friday's Phil Q&A is gonna be like, those 60 cycle hum guys were talking shit about you again.
No, we were not.
It doesn't matter what we say about Phil. Somebody's gonna take it as us trashing on him.
As much as I love Phil, a lot of Phil's audience is unique. They have a unique enthusiasm for him that I admire. Admire that he's gathered that audience. It's incredible. But a lot of them are very intense about Phil in a way that like they don't understand personal relationships. We actually know and love Phil like face to face. And we'll say normal, real things about Phil, and people are like, "Why are you dissing on Phil?" I said I love him.
Yeah. I have Phil's number, but it's his work phone, so he doesn't answer it between 9 and 5.
Have you tried to call Phil?
No, I've just texted him.
Wait,
And it's
even better, have you tried to call him outside of 9 to 5?
I have, and the funny thing is, it was at GearFest, and I still couldn't get him to pick up the damn phone.
Hey Phil, what's up? I know it's 10 o'clock. Do you want to hang out?
I
Steve.
I Facebook message Phil like a gentleman. Steve is over there booty calling Phil at 2 o'clock in the morning. Hey, you up?
Steve.
Yikes. I want to pick your brain about Floyd Roses.
The Steve and Phil fanfics are coming.
Snarky says Ryan is now on Rickenbacker's do not sell list. The craziest thing about all the Rickenbacker stuff, I was walking through the Rickenbacker booth at NAMM, and the Rickenbacker rep like saw me, and he like pointed at me, walked towards me, like, oh great. But he fist bumped me and is like, man, I love it. And it was like when like the first video was fresh, like that's when he was like, yeah, like we have to put up with Rickenbacker fans all day long. Like it was that conversation. Like he's like, yeah, they're wild. They're wild.
Dave from sales hates it also.
Funny, Ryan, if you remember, we heard the same thing from Gibson, them talking about Gibson fans.
No.
You know, I'm sure every brand has that.
Yeah.
But come on, Rickenbacker's got to be 1,000 times
They
worse.
got to be. I'm seeing Jeff's comment, and you got to point that one out because I literally couldn't breathe for a second laughing at the idea of you walking around with Rickenbackers on your feet.
Surfing on a Rickenbacker on a
you know, they're big enough.
Base.
They're big enough. If I could keep the water out, if I could tape off the F holes, I could boogie board on a Rickenbacker.
All right. With that, I'm out. Bye, everyone.
Wow, that's a conversation killer.
Oh, shoot, I gotta go. This is good stuff, guys. We should split this into 3 episodes.
Mark wants to know if we're going to get a not for Josh pedal. I think the answer is no. I'm pretty sure that answer is no so far.
I'm not Josh, but I'm also like not that interested.
Right. So I need to know, Ryan, if you were to use Rickenbackers as snow or sand shoes, since you're in California, which way?
We have snow here.
Which way does the neck face? Forward or back?
Back. It's got to be
back. Got to be back.
Well, I'm thinking when you step, that neck's just gonna snap right out from under your foot.
How is the front gonna be better?
Like those twisted elf shoes ever.
The neck's gonna break no matter what.
Well, you don't tilt tilt your foot back. You have to like step like
lift.
Yeah, it wouldn't work with the headstock in the front because you wouldn't be able to make step. You'd be walking like you had swim fins on. You know, you'd be waddling like a duck.
I just think the neck has got to be your steering, you know.
Right. Now, here's the real question. This is how dogs wear pants, sort of question, you know. If you were use Rickenbackers as snowshoes, front or back, we've decided neck and back.
Yep, neck and back.
Frets up or down?
Oh, it's got to be
up because you use the strings to hold the.
Oh, down for traction.
No,
there's snowshoes.
Snowshoes traction. You have to use the strings to put.
You put your feet under the strings?
Down.
Yeah, I think down now because that tail piece at the toe would be great for traction too. So
you get more traction by screwing in more strap buttons.
This is beautiful.
You screw in more strap buttons. That's how you get your traction.
More straps,
and it would be easier to attach the straps to put them on your feet if the strings are down and not underneath your feet. And pickups make flat surface. I like it.
I say it's for snowshoes. For snowshoes, frets down. this is assuming a fantasy world where the guitar just doesn't instantly crumble.
Right.
For snow, frets down for traction.
Yeah.
But if you, it's like, say you want to go quick, you flip it over. Now you're skiing.
If the neck is facing forward, it's a ski, and if it's facing backwards, it's a snowshoe.
Oh yeah, I could see that. I'm just trying to.
No,
imagine.
you just fall. That wouldn't work. As the resident snow person here, as the I could get a snowshoe and show you. I have one on my wall.
You have an official snowshoe issued by the government. That's what they do, right? Like a socialized snowshoe program.
Yeah.
It's not a tennis racket. That's
At 10, you get the snowshoe license to have the shoes, and then at 15 or 16, you can drive. That's right.
Tennis is
it works here. Once you build 3 igloos, then you're allowed to advance to your snowshoe stage.
Right.
Until then, you have to stay around the home. Can't leave.
Wait a minute.
100
Can
maple
be
trees.
used as a snow shovel? Hey.
Orion does hate Canadians.
I keep thinking about the Rickenbacker as a boogie board thing. And maybe I'm feeling motivated, and it might just be the drinks and just being silly. I'm feeling motivated to get one of those $200 Rickenbacker copies now. Because I could destroy it in various fun ways like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you already did it with Epiphone, so
right. But it would be fun to take, and the season, like the bigger wave season is coming in San Diego. I strap a GoPro to the headstock.
Mm-hmm.
I go out and I try to shred some gnar on some big old waves with a Rickenbacker under my belly.
I have a suspicion it will not be buoyant enough to.
Yeah, that's where I am. I'm thinking it's going to sink.
You think it'd be too girlant? That's what you're saying.
Did you say girlant?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you said buoyant.
Buoyant.
Oh.
I can't talk now. The joke took, guys, we're 3 hours and 20 minutes into this. Don't expect anything from me right now.
And 3 different kinds of booze, right?
So
4.
Angry Pickle points this out, though, Ryan. We could.
Well, I always listen to Angry Pickle. So.
Yeah. Harley Benton makes some Rickenbackerish things.
Yeah, but theirs is little. I need a full size.
No baby backers.
They're Rickenbacker small bodied, and it's a little solid body. No, it's not solid. It has chambered, but it's like Strat size, kind of, maybe even Telly sized.
I've never.
It's a good guitar. It's a fun guitar. It's not. I can't boogie board it. Sorry.
Here's on eBay. There's a classic 12-string electric guitar hollow guitar made of solid wood, full timbre. One of those where they conveniently never show the front of the headstock.
Yeah. You have to special order what it's going to say on the headstock. Wink, 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 wink.
I
can't.
That's how all the AliExpress Alibaba stuff is. It's like, okay, you're not showing the headstock at all. So like, I see what's going on here. Like, I'm not fooled. I know what's going to show up if I order this.
$289, but $130 shipping.
But like doing like the conflict of that is like, yeah, I'm supporting someone who's building this illegal stuff. The other flip side of it is I'm definitely destroying it, and it's not entering the used market. So it's like, will the people who are super anti counterfeit be overjoyed or angry or both at the same time? It's going to be a complicated web of feelings. I'm going to gather all these groups of very complicated opinion people together: the Rickenbacker people, the counterfeit people, the just imports in general people, like all this stuff. The other people yelling at me about sweatshops are going to be in the comments. All the people yelling at me about the pronunciation of Rickenbacker are going to be in the comments. Like all of them are going to be there. It's going to be a perfect storm. Like this is going to be the next big thing.
I can only hope so.
Yeah, that's it. I'm going to go order one tonight.
You got to plan. You got to plan to put all these out during the summer so you don't summer lull.
Where's no. There it is.
I think the rim shot was plenty appropriate. So
no, that's for if it's funny.
Crickets.
Doesn't
right?
that mean funny? Have
That
I
was
been
like dad joke.
Where's the
have I
cricket?
been misunderstanding humor and comedy? I thought that meant ha 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 funny.
No, that means it's a bad joke.
That's why I've been the only one laughing at all these comedians. I thought it was a funny sound for funny things.
What?
Well, in 1920.
Right, exactly.
Ah.
It was to signify something was a joke.
Right.
But when you have a bad joke, it's supposed to be crickets.
Right. Well, the funny
Oh, that's not that.
That's
the funny
not the
thing is
cricket.
that if you need something to signify that something was a joke, it probably wasn't funny.
Was that a joke?
No, that was serious.
Okay.
Also a joke.
We're all
should we
very
put-
serious here.
We should probably put a pin on this because this is nothing now.
Yeah, no, those are wild.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
I'm gonna go buy a $200 Rickenbacker off of AliExpress. So if anyone wants to send me recommendations on Facebook in the next hour,
Are there recommendations? Don't you?
Like, do they have multiple options? You just find the one that looks the most realistic to get the most ire.
I have a feeling if the one that I picked that's going to be the most realistic looking and for the photos is going to show up and be the least realistic. Like it's
That's even. I mean,
Even
there's
better. There's no
this
downside here.
No, exactly.
There's no downside to this concept. I wonder how long the downside is that it's going to take it 4 weeks to ship to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're
So
not.
you're saying you're really motivated right now, and you won't
If
be
it ships.
in a month.
If it ships
Oh,
at
yeah.
all. So and it might ship and it might show up and be a packet of beans.
That's true.
That's a possibility as well. So
Or be only about 6 or 8 inches long.
it'll be one of those little guys. I ordered a Rickenbacker, and it's like question mark clickbait. Like, oh, what happened?
That's when you need a GI Joe on top.
I
of it.
I really thought I ordered the real thing for $200. I got so fooled. This is a scam. That's what I'm gonna say.
Dude, if you could get, I don't think they exist, but if you could get a Rickenbacker copy made by Firefly, those two coming together would be the most beautiful storm.
Listen, I don't want to be that successful. It's too good. I've actually been thinking about checking out Firefly again. I'm still in one of their Facebook groups, and they posted that there's going to be a baritone semi-hollow. I was like, that might get my $200. I might check that out.
Yeah, I think I would probably buy that too.
Yeah, and they're
Patreon funded little event.
Yeah. I'm feeling more and more free to spend the Patreon money for content lately, and it's because I've been charging more for my demos, so I've been intentionally getting more. I've been getting less work, which has been giving me more time to do the Patreon stuff, which is working out great because the Patreon stuff is actually growing the channel better than paid demos do, because I'm picking the content. Go figure. So yeah, I think there's more of that in the future for sure, and I'm excited about it.
William Farrell says, not the Will Ferrell. This is a different guy.
I got excited again.
But he says, congrats on 500, gents. Proud of you all. Thanks for the years of fun. Thanks, William, for the super chat. Yeah, it's been fun.
We've been sitting here at like 100. Steve has so much enthusiasm. Yeah, great. We've been doing this so long. Having such a great time. No problems at all. Ryan made me paint my new office blue.
No, I like this color.
What if I did force you to try to recreate this set just for like the 2 times a month that you live stream?
I know.
Hey, we gotta maintain the brand, Steve.
2 times a month. Brian, you give us too much credit.
Is it once?
Well, it's like once every 3 to 4 weeks.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It would have been this weekend, but this was happening, so we didn't do it.
Right. Well, this actually worked out really good because I'm launching a pedal demo tomorrow. There's a product launch.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Who is it?
Yeah. I can't tell you.
You can actually.
I was wondering if you
emailed
to say it.
They emailed
It's got to be
spoilers.
midnight somewhere, right?
So if you're not if you're not on the mailing list,
did the mailing list already go out?
They sent the mailing list today. It wasn't showing what the pedal was, so don't talk about the pedal.
Oh,
I
I know.
say the brand.
I got that email. I got it.
But
It's
Beatronics is launching a new product tomorrow. So
okay, I'll give one spoiler.
Forward to that.
Okay, one spoiler, guys. I'll go full screen for this, so maximum impact. So, Beatronics is launching a pedal tomorrow. And you're not going to believe this, but it's bee themed.
You're not going to believe this?
It's no one could see this coming.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what it is, but I'm probably not going to buy it. I don't have any of theirs, even though I love their aesthetic.
This is going to be one of the ones that is not crazy expensive.
Oh, that's good too.
Yeah. So it's not going to be one of these 8-knob monstrosities.
No,
I like how everyone in the chat had the same reaction that I had when you told me you were doing this pedal, which is it a fuzz? Because they do so many fuzzes and whatnot that
it's like they almost do fuzzes exclusively, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I have a hard time remembering they have anything that's not a fuzz. So
I will say I'm giving a lot of hints here.
Yeah, you are.
It's not only a fuzz.
Oh, you might get me then.
All right, I'm gonna throw this up here. I need, without elaboration initially, I want everybody to answer this question. Momi Movie says, thanks for everything. I'd been chasing the surf sound for years until I stumbled on the channel. Life-saving content. Anyway, next gen or DS9?
Next gen.
Next gen.
Are you kidding? Are you kidding?
Next.
I know there's people who love DS9, but they don't next gen love DS9.
The show is called Star Trek, so it implies that it goes somewhere, but all DS9 does is sit in one place.
It floats around and goes in
DS9
circles.
goes somewhere,
Yeah.
like the story does develop. And in fact, the DS9 story develops more than the next generation does for sure. But where it goes, I don't care to be. So I don't like to watch it.
So I actually really enjoyed DS9, but I grew up on I didn't watch DS9 until I was in my, a couple of years ago. But TNG is what I grew up on.
Next gen goes somewhere.
Yeah.
DS9 doesn't go anywhere. And then Voyager goes back.
Well, see, that's what with the next gen. That's I don't care what anybody says. Like, first of all, I'm just not a Cisco fan. He's like the bottom of my rankings for favorite Star Trek captain. And that's I'm sorry, Pike's probably at the bottom. But with next
Pike?
If you go back and that's true. I forgot there was the second appearance that I haven't watched yet. We'll come back to that. If you go back and listen to my episode with Mike Adams, we spent the first half of the podcast.
Okay, go ahead, promote your stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
So if you're really into Star Trek, go listen to my guitar podcast. But the beauty of next gen was that you watch this development of this it actually has a story arc for every character. There's a lot of growth.
Right.
They didn't even know what they were doing in the first season.
Each character really develops
that were just not used in the original series, and you can tell.
Yeah. Like Next Generation, like I rewatched it as an adult for the first time like 15 years ago or something like that. Like I went through the whole thing and binged it. And I walked away from it going like, all of the Next Generation is Data's story.
Oh,
like it's Data is the central character of the Next Generation.
I'm going to throw kudos at Shane here. Shane Joseph. He says TNG has 0 character development compared to DS9. I will die on this hill. I do agree with this sentiment. Like I said, I think in terms of like maybe a better written program, I mean, DS9 is very hard.
If you're going to compare it, then yes, but you can't say that there's no character development on the Next Generation.
Yeah. But I'm saying if you're comparing the two, because it's like ultimately Data, a lot of character development. There's other characters I get like, but what's Picard's true character development? His true character development is
That man learned to like kids, man.
Yeah, episode 1, he's the man on the island, and 276 or whatever episodes. I think it's in the 180s episodes later. Something like that. He decides to finally play poker.
Yeah. And he likes kids. Sort of. He tolerates kids.
But Worf's development as a character.
There's characters that
Worf goes from like overly enthusiastic Klingon nerd to bad dad. Like that's character development.
Also, I'm just gonna say that my problem with Deep Space Nine and Cisco in general, is that show never managed. I had to force myself to watch it. Like I didn't enjoy watching it as much as I just enjoyed Next Generation.
Now, I think Star Trek's current problem is the same problem that DC has and has had for years. Is that the best DC content and the best Star Trek content right now is animated.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
okay. the live, and it's been that way for DC for years, and unfortunately, that's where Star Trek is at right now. I say unfortunately, but like
animated too.
Lower Decks is fantastic. Prodigy is good Trek. Like it is for kids. It is for kids. It is a kid's show, but you can watch it as an adult and a Trek fan and be like, this is good Trek. Like this is actual Trek storytelling. Like there's more Trek storytelling in Prodigy than you'll find in the live action stuff right now.
I think sci-fi in general does better in animation just because it's you can spend more time and money focusing on story rather than sets and
but like
special effects.
It's easy to see like both of those animated properties are on the sillier side. They're lighthearted. One's a kid's show. It's actually not that lighthearted. It's just, it's got kid humor in it.
Yeah.
And then the other one is like a Bob's Burgers parody style of Star Trek, but it's actually like really deeply sincere, like Trek story writing and stuff like that. And like a really good, sincere, humorous look at Trek. And it's not the cheap jokes. Like they go deep for their jokes, which is it's really, I really appreciate it. Like there's no like surface level William Shatner talks funny jokes. Like it is the real stuff. It's from people who really, really, really know the franchise.
I tried to get in a fight on Instagram with some rando the other day.
And you failed?
I couldn't get the fight going.
I'm disappointed in you, Steve. I don't want to hear this try stuff anymore.
So there's an upcoming Star Trek series that was announced back in May called Starfleet Academy, and they announced that Tawny Newsome is going to be one of the writers for that show. And this guy was like, "Oh, it's probably good. No, this is just," he called it a discoversity hire. Like, y'all, I feel like basically saying it's
bullshit and like three different directions.
And so my comment was like, no, like Tawny's legit. Like she eats, sleeps, breathes Star Trek. And this guy's like, well, there's a lot of people who became actors for Star Trek who claim to be fans, but they never even finished an episode. I'm like, dude, she's the official co-host of the Star Trek podcast. She's been in now at this point like 39 Star Trek episodes, something like that. So I'm like, yeah, I think I'm right. And the guy's like, well, we'll see. Typical,
Right. He doesn't know as well as she doesn't know as well as he does. He should have the job.
Yeah. But also with him, like this was one of these dudes where like Star Trek really ended with, the undiscovered country or whatever, and nothing after that matters.
I don't want to hear anyone say that. I don't want to hear someone say that to me. I mean, it was a fine movie, I guess, but like, come on. It wasn't that great. Like the
typical woke nonsense.
Right.
Nonsense.
We now know Momi Movies is in a guitar group where we all pretend to be boomers.
Oh, is he?
I don't know.
Or she.
Sure looks like it.
Tony Zarat is in the comments. I don't know if you guys know who that is.
Who?
Is that comedian who he's like an extreme exaggerated like imitation of like a hyper conservative person. It's just like, liberals and woke and
I gotcha.
Yeah. Here I am at woke Starbucks. You know, like he has one joke and I laugh at it every time. So
well, that's a damn good joke.
Yeah, it works for me. We should wrap this up though, guys.
Yeah,
it's been a long pod. Who knows if StreamYard will even let us get the audio we need out of this.
It will. I'll make it.
Steve is so confident. It will.
If not today, I'll get it tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. Huge thanks to everyone who I can't believe we stayed so close to 100 so long, still in the 90s.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to live stream more often. It's been a long time since we did this. We did it out of loneliness during COVID and not being able to be in the same rooms together.
We need to find whenever something happens, we should just have a thing where it's like we're gonna jump like this aero guitar, the aero guitar thing. We should have just done like a 10-minute live stream a couple days ago.
10 minutes. You know we can't do that.
Yeah, I know. It's impossible.
We should do that more often. You're right.
Something controversial comes up,
Yeah.
Put it out.
Mark wants to know if we will do another one
for 1,000
for €1,000. I don't understand this question. Oh, now he says he means for episode number 1,000.
If we make it to
euro, you would have done it, right?
If we make it to episode 1,000, if we're even still tracking things with numbers by then.
Yeah. Numbers will be declared racist and ableist by that point. So
I can't imagine that we wouldn't do something to celebrate. I mean, obviously, we'll celebrate with the 300 remaining fans.
I don't know about these celebrations you speak of. I hit 100 the other day and I didn't realize it. Like it just went right by me. I had no idea.
It's better that way.
There's something about like those first milestones are the hardest to hit. Like hitting 100 is a big deal. When you hit 1,000, it's going to feel like a huge deal. I remember for me, like 2,000 was the goal forever.
Yeah.
And it took forever to hit that. And it felt like I was coming up with conspiracy theories, trying to figure out why I wasn't getting subscribers the way other channels were. It was like, they're all buying subscribers. They're all buying views. It's all bitter and stuff like that.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. It was a dark time in my life.
Yeah, no, I don't even look at my YouTube numbers. I know why my YouTube channel doesn't get any subscribers, because nobody wants hour-long conversation content. If I did,
they want 3 hour and 41 minute long conversation.
But if I, more 10 and 20-minute videos, I would probably be able to grow it. But I also have my 60-hour-a-week full-time job I work.
Yeah. YouTube is tough. All right, with that, bye everyone. Thanks for watching.
Take care, everybody.
Steve is going to get the address for the guitar, and then I'll ship it out this week.
I am? Okay.
I'll get the address for the guitar, and I'll ship it out this week. And Steve will hit over all the other winners and stuff. Huge thanks to everyone who's listened over the years, and stay grounded.
See ya.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Am I hitting end or are you?
We're both doing everything at the same time.